And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the day, of the night, of the morning. Good morning, everyone. We just wrapped up with some Kung Fu Cup action, and we had an amazing time, casting so many amazing players there, but the StarCraft continues on deeper and deeper into the night. We are here with our bi-weekly Polish tournaments. Welcome, everyone, to the House Open Cup number 4. House, even. Number 4. Of course, this is a tournament region-locked to the land of Poland, so only Polish players can compete, residents and citizens only, and hey, exclamation mark B in the chat. The bracket is stacked, it's full of amazing players, and we are diving into our first best of 3 of the night into a ZVP. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Blazer. As a reminder, don't forget the fanfare, it is Cristiano. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Zerg player representing Team MY, well, Team MY Fixed. It is Snockstar. Oh, where are we going? Let's go. Snockstar is going for a hidden base here towards the bottom left. We are going straight for the gold here as the happy. We're going straight for the gold. I can hear the attackers as Kur is excited. Again, a big shout out to Kura. So Kura is handling the production today. She is making sure that everything is not catching fire. Everything is up and running, and will be joining me later on here tonight for the cast for the semifinals and the finals later on. For now, though, we have our ZVP, and again, Snockstar popping off here with the goal base. Cristiano is going for a probe scout, is going to recognize that something is wrong, is going to see the gas and the pool on the way, could just assume it's a gas pool opener from his opponent. So far, the goal base is unscouted. Now, Cristiano, he is looking to block his opponents, but soon he should be realizing that something is wrong and should be checking the third base locations. And oh, he's rallied right to the... Yeah, he knows. He's rallied right to the goal base. And again, coming into this, Snockstar, he's a very aggressive player, very cheesy. This is maybe the cheesiest Zerg player in the region. He is known, he has a reputation, and Cristiano, aware of his opponent's reputation, is going to be checking the bottom left, is going to get eyes on the would-be gold base. The main art is upon us. We're going to be main arting our drones over towards that bottom left, and Cristiano, it's going to be on him to try and punish this as well, as he has that probe, does spot those drones heading on over, and he is soon to be aggressive himself. Now, he is going for a gate expand into the cyber core, so he's not really set up to punish this too hard, but we do have a Stargate on the way, and the difficult thing here is that Snockstar is going to have to try and defend both his main and his natural at the same time. As we have both Adepts and Oracles on the way, they can wreak havoc, they can have their way with with Snockstar. On top of this, typically if we go for a goal base like this in such a fashion, then we typically do go all in. This shouldn't be for a longer game. This should not be for a macro game. We should be just doubling down here on aggression. There it is. Baneling Nest is thrown down. We're not droning. We're cutting workers at 21. We're going for a massive Ling Bane bust. We're going all in. It is all or nothing for Snockstar. And can he pull this off? Ling speed still halfway done, still on the way. And we're going for another hatchery. Adept does shade into the main base, and we don't have that many workers to begin with. We can't afford to lose them. Drones are going to be going down. One worker falls. We're going to get a second. We're going to get a third. We get a third drone as well. The Adept falls. So that's 3 dead workers. We're from 21 down to 18 drones. And we have to commit. We have to double down. We're sending everything across the map. Banelings are on the way. A second wall behind this. Shield battery. Gateway. We have a wall. We do shade to the other side. Oracle's on the way as well. Cristiano, he's aware that he's being all in. He's aware, but can he stop it? We have Banelings, but we can't crash through these gateways. Oh, we're going to try. And it looks like we barely will get through one gateway here on the right-hand side. Shield battery finishes up just in time, and can we save it? We cannot. The gateway is going to be killed, but the Oracle comes out just in time. We got to surround the shield battery, but there's just not enough Lings. Shield battery falls, but alas, the wall has been thrown back up. Once again, the Adept is standing strong. Banelings are going to finish, though. They take down the shield battery, but the wall is solid. GG gets called, and Cristiano will defend, and we'll take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Ooh. Again, Cristiano able to recognize that aggression and an all-in was coming and was able to shut it down in time. Good reaction, a solid wall as well with the gateway. Was able to come back home with the Oracle. Shield batteries are finishing up. Adepts as well. Overall, really solid defense. And unfortunately, Silkstar, he wasn't able to keep it hidden. He wasn't able to hide the build from his opponent. Again, Cristiano, he was so quick to check the goal base, and Silkstar, he had to commit, you know, had to try to make it work despite being in a really rough position. And with that, Cristiano does take a lead in this series. We do have a bracket full of players, and we can go over the bracket once we wrap up this series. But again, we have everything that you would want here. We are missing some players. I think the most notable one is Mana. We actually saw Mana earlier today in Kung Fu Cup. Doing very well for himself. He actually went to the ace match against Spirit. I was very excited to see Mana doing well, but Mana is not here, not this time, not in this weekly. So hopefully we can get some Mana action later on down the line. As for now, we're still focused on Cristiano versus Snockstar. And I hope everyone in the chat is doing well for themselves. I see in the chat, oh, we have Senor Luck, we have Senor Easy Feel. Yeah, Easy Feel. Aistan, Slow Bro in the chat. Count Bebop. Oh, bienvenidos. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be. It's beautiful. And yeah. Hope you're all ready to enjoy a night full of Polish StarCraft as well. As a reminder, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, points are accumulated over time. I say points. Yeah. There's a spreadsheet, and points are accumulated based on your performance and how far you make it in these bi-weekly tournaments. And shout out to Kashim. Kashim, he is the organizer of this event, or at least the admin of the event. And he is, of course, keeping track of all these points, and that will eventually lead, I imagine, to invites. I imagine that's going to be leading to invites for the SE2 circuit at the end of the year or beginning of next year, at the end of the season of this season of weeklies. Ooh. So, again, there's a lot on the line here for these players as we do have our lobby. And we are getting ready for our next game. So, here we go. And game 2 is going to be taking place on Oceanborn. As a reminder, we're also going to be doing our best to try and cast that the LAN event that's going to be coming up in a couple of months. I said we'll do our best. Hopefully it doesn't clash with any other tournaments, and hopefully we can cover as much of it as possible. I think last time we casted the whole thing. I remember there was one esport event where we actually had to jump in during the playoffs, and we actually missed out on the group stage, or at least part of the group stage. But we'll do our best to cover as much of it as we can. All the Polish StarCraft, all. As our players are ready and we're getting into game number 2. And the question becomes, what kind of cheese is Snockstar going to whip out in game 2? We saw an attempted Bane Bust. What comes next? As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top left, we have his opponent. We have, oh, let's go. Going for a 12 pool. Going for a 12, because of course we are. We have the blue Zerg player from the land of Poland representing MY Fixed. It is Snockstar. And when it comes to a 12 pool, so usually a 12 pool is a macro build. You know, you make Lings to be aggressive across the map, to force an overreaction, and to transition out of this. But this is not just a 12 pool. That's a drone. As a drone sneaking across the map here towards the south, heading towards the natural base. This is going to be a 12 pool with a proxy hatchery as well. This hatchery should be a part of the wall to try to disrupt the Sim City here and to try to increase surface area on the gateway. Again, we're just going to be biding time. We're waiting to gather those resources to actually throw down that hatchery. Lings are on the way. Probe Scout does come in. Probe Scout does see the 12 pool. And here comes the hatchery. Hatchery is thrown down again, really disrupting the wall. It does cost extra buildings here to actually wall off, and does expose the gateway as well. As things are flooding across. So the boys, oh my god, the boys are being pulled. We're sending everything across the map here. It's all or nothing for Snogstar because it's Snogstar. It's how he do. It's what he be. He's so cheesy. He's beautiful. Behind this, we have a Forge as a response for cannons. Again, cannons are going to be required here because Cristiano has very limited, oh my god, very limited production. We do have a bit of a cancel for a Spine Crawler. Lings, they do dive on in. The drones are upon us. They're looking to drone drill past the Zealots. Oh, but we do have a secondary wall behind this. We are prepared. Up! Oh my god. We have to be careful. Trying to focus down the Cybercore of all things. Cannon is on the way. Second Zealot does pop up on the other side of the wall. The Zealot can't help. The Zealot is not a part of this. A couple of drones are going to be going down, but the Cybercore should fall as well. We should be able to bust on in and get on top of these cannons. Spine Crawler does finish up in time. Zealots are going down. They should be. There we go. They are going down. We're trying to focus down the cannon as well. Cybercore. The cannon is barely going to finish. But the Cybercore falls. No more production. We get on top of the cannon. We get on top of the second cannon as well. And have we done it? The probes are being pulled as well. Boy on boy action. The Spine Crawler doing what it can. It's bleeding out as we speak. We do take down the cannon in the end. There's one cannon remaining. And it falls, but we still have a Zealot. We still have a Zealot up and running, but we take control of the natural base. And what is in the main? Nothing. And we're going back home so we can mine. Sending the drones back home. The Spine Crawler is waddling away as well. We get the pylon. But that Zealot is still alive. Still does pose a big threat to these Lings. But we will depower the final gateway. Again, no production available here for Cristiano. He has another pylon on the way as well. We're going to commit. We're going for the fights. Probes are going down. We got to surround the Zealot will fall as well. GG gets called. And Snogstar takes game number 2. We're getting an ace match. Oh my god. That was disgusting. GG, well played. Snogstar, he's able to pull it off. That is something that I haven't seen before, by the way. To go for the proxy hatch, to cancel it, and to throw down the Spine Crawler to help you DPS down that wall of cannons. Very creative from Snogstar. Able to just barely break through, barely able to snowball out of control. Cristiano, unfortunately, even though he made like additional Zealots, and even though he made additional units, he wasn't quite, again, like, he just had a really awkward time just trying to engage with the wall, engage with the army. Zealot was stuck behind, a lot of lost DPS there as a result. Cannons barely weren't finishing up in time as well, and that was close. That was a very close game, and we're going all the way to game 3. We are going all the way. Let's go. The Spine was seriously clutch. It was. Honestly, without the Spine Crawler, we hold, right? Without that extra DPS, the cannons survive, the wall stands strong. It's a completely different game. That Spine Crawler was very crucial when it comes to the execution of that all-in and actually killing Cristiano. Very well done. Very well thought out. And again, something that I personally haven't seen that variation of 12 full proxy hatch before. I've seen Spine Crawlers with the hatchery as well, but like usually in addition to the hatchery. But here we go. We're getting to the ace match, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Blazer, being forced into the ace match. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing MY Fix, forcing the ace match and taking that second game. It is Snogstar. And a big shout out into the chat to Slowbro for gifting a sub to 16 Squad Senseki, aka Production, aka Kuro. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure Kuro is very appreciative as well. We do appreciate the support, and thank you for the gifted sub, Papi. Thank you. Thank you. Always appreciate it. As we are getting into the swing of things here, and for the first time this series, Hatch, Gas Pool, back at home. Standard opener here at a Snogstar. Cristiano, he comes in for a scout. I'm sure he's doing a bit of a double take. Like, wait, hold up. Is everything at home? Is everything normal? You're crazy. Now, just because the opener is normal doesn't mean we're getting a normal game. we mentioned before, for some context, Snogstar is arguably the cheesiest Zerg player, or the cheesiest player in all of Poland. He is very aggressive. He is not one to go into the late game or even the mid game. That's not really what he does. So we do have a hatch gas pool. This could still lead into, say, something like a Bane Bust or a Roach Rush as well. We could waddle the queens across the map. What I will say is that I do think it's very difficult to go for 2 base all-ins on Site Delta specifically. Site Delta is a unique map in this map pool where there's a ramp coming into the natural. We do have a ramp leading into the natural base, as opposed to almost every other map in the map pool where we are on the same elevation when it comes to the rest of the map in the base, and the natural, I should say. So there's an extra added advantage here defensively for Cristiano. High ground is required to break through. Especially if we're talking about roaches, for example. On top of that, we do have a Stargate opener, standard opener here from Cristiano, just a gate expand into the Cyber Core, into the Stargate. So nothing too crazy from our Protoss player. First Adept is moving out, third base is being taken, Link Speed is on the way, and Snogstar, he's staying in gas. Very important. Snogstar, usually in a ZVP, you get Link Speed, you pull out of gas. There's no reason to get that gas this early on. This could be for a fast Bailey Nest, fast Roach Warren, or a fast Lair. One of 3 things. One of 3 things is coming here for Snogstar. Which one? Roll a dice. Roll it. I mean, we should have already seen a Bailey Nest by now. So I don't think it's going to be that. So we do have 10 Lings on the way. A lot of Lings actually with cutting workers here at 26. Adepts have arrived. And so far, they're going to be threatening a shade into the main base. We commit to the shade, and we can one-shot workers. 1, 2 drones go down. And there it is. As soon as the Adepts go down, we have the lair. So it looks like Snogstar, he had the gas for the lair, but he delayed his lair, waiting to kill that Adept first, just to keep this tech hidden. So this looks like this could lead into a couple of different things. As the Oracle's getting across the map, this could be lead into a Link Queen Nidus all in, but there it is. We have a Dropper Lord on the way. Overlord speed in production. But the Oracle rocks up, more drones are going down across the map. Lings do knock down that wall. They try to knock it down, but it's solid. We get a recall. Cristiano are a little bit paranoid about a Link Flood. Now, because we have Overlord speed on the way, I mentioned before, Dropper Lords should be what comes next. Fun fact, you actually can't morph in Dropper Lords without a lair. So it should be a Link Flood alongside maybe a Queen drop, or we could even try to go for a Ling drop into the main base. Yeah, you can see here, the Overlords are amassing. They're congregating. They're having a bit of a meeting. They're getting ready. Bit of a huddle before the play. And here we go. The Dropper Lords are amassing. Meanwhile, across the map at the natural base, the wall is sold. A lot of Lings are going down, actually. I'm afraid to look, but looking at the Unisource tab, 10 Lings have already fallen. Cristiano taking his third base. He's still only on 2 gateways. We have a Prism in production. Was a War Prism follow-up, and here we go. We're zooming across the map. We have 3 Queens and nothing but Lings. And with this, we can bypass the wall here at the natural, go straight into the main. There's no shield battery either. There's no overcharge. Things are about to get rowdy. There's no Queens. Drones are going down, and we're just flooding Lings across the map. We do find some of these Adepts. And again, we should be ignoring this position and going straight for the main base, straight for the production even. Oracle across the map comes across the Spore Crawler. And can we pull this off? We're camping the Stargate. But we have 4 gateways. We have 4 gateways behind this. We have Archons on the way. The first Archon gets surrounded. Where are the shield batteries? First Archon does go down. 1 shield battery finishes up here at the natural base, and we're going to be losing a lot of Lings here at the natural. Meanwhile, we bust into the main. Creep is spreading. We don't want to waste the Lings. 8 Lings go down. We try to surround that Archon, but the overcharge is popped. The Queens are getting low. And we ferry even more Lings into the main. We're focusing down the gateways. The Queens, once again, though, they have to be careful. The Archon is going to be saved. Yeah, 1 gateway goes down, another gate as well. The Queen! High energy Queen falls. And you can see the Archons breaking through the army, but we get a surround. But the juggling's too good. The juggling far too good here. Saving those Archons. Yeah, the Lings are being cleaned up. Archons, they just annihilate them. And we do get on top of the tech. Twilight Council goes down. We're rotating over towards the natural base, but Sockstar, he's droning back at home. Looks like the push has ended. He killed the third base. He crippled the production, killed 2 gateways, a Twilight Council, but the Templar Archive survives. Oh, we're busted. Oh no! We're gonna kill the Overlord! Oh god! The Overlords are being focused down one after the other. We come back in. And we're going for the main. Probes are exposed. Probes are going to be going down. We could maybe even get the Templar Archives as well. The Archon! Archon? The Immortal! The Archon's still alive elsewhere, but the Immortal, it's not going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. It survives. And this was a little bit wasteful here. Songstar losing a lot of units. Did not pay off. And back at home, Songstar, he's just trying to drone as best he can. Cristiano throwing down his 2 more gateways, so he's still on 4 gates. He shuts down the Queen. Oof. Queens are going down, Dropper Lords as well. And Cristiano is in a better position. He's on an even worker count, which is always better for the Protoss. He's on 2 bases. He's still maintained most of his tech. He's rebuilding that Twilight Council as well. And he maintains his Immortal count and his Archon as well. So Cristiano, I would say, is pretty far ahead at this point. This was something that had to kill, and it didn't. It did do a lot of damage, but it just was not enough. Snockstar forced to evacuate his third base. The Archon drop going uncontested. We're going to kill another Queen. Queen is going to go down. We bust into the natural base as well. Drones are falling. Roaches are in production. We can't afford to lose workers. We barely have any to begin with. It's going to be 4 dead workers. A lot of lost mining time. You can see that Sockstar is trying to transition into 2-base Roach. He is not saturating his third base whatsoever. Just focusing on Roach production instead. Now, Songstar, he has an opportunity here, as long as he doesn't lose too much. Like, this is the frustrating thing. Like, a player with good control, they can get so much value with these Archons. Like, they've achieved so much already. Oh. Yeah, 3 more drones. Behind this, third base is on the way. Creep is being cleaned up in the main. And against a Roach all-in, we already have how many Immortals? 2. We have 2 Immortals. We have a 3rd Immortal on the way. Archon, sentries for force fields. Now, if Cristiano doesn't throw down the shield battery, he's got a shield battery on the way. Does have a shield battery on the way. He's going to have an overcharge available at his 3rd once the Nexus is done. And here we go. We have our 2nd all-in here from Snockstar. Now, he has a decent amount of Ravagers across the map. More drones are going down to the Oracles. The Vials, they kind of connect, but the force fields are a little bit too good. The Immortals, they bust on through. And Songstar is being shut down. GG gets called. Cristiano will survive. He will defend against all the all-ins and take the series at 2-1. GG. GG, well played. There was a lot of potential. I mean, Sockstar, he did get into the main. He did kill the third base. He was wreaking havoc. But overall, good reactions out of Cristiano. He kept his cool. And the MVPs of that game, the Archons. The Archons, they were popping off. Not just harassing across the map afterwards, towards the end of the game. But even before that, in the defense, they cleaned up so many Lings. They killed so many Queens as well. Archons, alongside a Prism to juggle, alongside shield batteries to support, the Archons just refused to die. And yeah, just really good control, really good defense there out of Cristiano. He does shut down his opponent, and he advances on to the next round. GG, well played. My condolences to Sockstar, but a really good performance and really entertaining games. It's like, I think we can all agree, entertaining matches here from our Zerg player, and he made a series out of it as well. Did make a series out of it. GG, well played. With that, Cristiano advances on into the next round, and we're going to be following him. Now is the time. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the bracket as we switch our scenes over and have a look at the tournament itself. Looks like most of round 1 is wrapping up. Indy was covering Rodzin versus Jomek, I think, or Indy, he was covering, I think what the Laser series, one of the other series, was going on.
Hello,
looks
this
like
is
most of round 1.
production. Indy is going for Gerard Cristiano right now, so we may be joining him if you want to do that.
Yeah, we're obviously following Cristiano. But from the top, going over all of the matches, we have Aristary. He took down Trifax 2-0. I would say maybe even an upset there. Trifax has been doing so well for himself, but is knocked down in the first round. Big shout out to Aristary as he does advance on to face off against Spirit in the next round in that TVZ. Meanwhile, just underneath them, we have Art taking down Kosit 2-0 up against Papi in a PvP as well. Let's go. We saw Papi have a run of a lifetime earlier, a couple of weeks ago, just having a very deep run here in the House Open Cup. I believe it was Papi versus a Laser in the finals of last week's edition. So we'll see if we can have another deep run as well. And maybe even have a rematch with a Laser. So Papi versus Art, currently ongoing. We do have our next series as we follow Cristiano into Geralt. Again, that's a big reason as to why we casted Cristiano and Soxar to begin with, because Geralt was waiting in the next round. Again, Geralt, he is arguably the best Protoss in the region. He's been doing very well for himself. So yeah, we are going to be getting into his series next. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have a Laser versus Mishu. Alazer did take him down 2-0 and is waiting for the winner of Rodzin versus Jomek in a PvP. I believe that is the final series that is ongoing there at the bottom of the brackets. And again, I'm pretty sure Indy was covering the Alazer series. It was shown earlier on the bracket. And as was mentioned by production, we are going to be joining forces. We're all going to be coming together here in the second round in the quarterfinals. Here we go. Again, a lot of these matches are going to be really close. Obviously, Spirit is one of the favorites to take the entire tournament, so he's going to be the one to keep an eye on. Art versus Papi could go either way in a PvP, and a Laser is a beast in and of itself, and a Laser should be a sure thing to the semifinals at least. But we have seen both Geralt and Cristiano make a Laser work for it. We've seen them both really go toe-to-toe and take maps and take series off of a Laser over the past couple of months, over the past couple of weeks, editions of this tournament. So it is not going to be easy here. A Laser, he may be the best Zerg player in Poland, but he has been taken down by the Protosses more than once. So it is no sure thing for him. As, yeah, we are just going to be waiting for the vetoes to get underway. Going to be amazing. Going to be beautiful. Catching up in the chat. When you've got such a reputation for cheese, not cheesing is almost a form of cheese. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That was a big thing with Haas. If you remember in the history of Haas, like for a very long time, he would only cheese, he would only be aggressive, and then everything changed a couple of years ago, where he just went into this mass econ style instead, going for these mass expansions, and being very greedy and snowballing out of control. It was amazing to see. It was a sight to behold, to see the evolution of Haas over the years, over his career. Do Archons heal shields inside the prism? They do. They regenerate shields when they're out of combat, whether they're, out in the open or in a war prism or elsewhere. Here we go. Semifinals are going to be good. The quarterfinals are going to be good, Papi. As looks like the vetoes are done and we're getting ready for our PvP. We're going to be holding off on predictions for a little bit, unless Kuro wants to have a go at it. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one to predict. Cristiano and Geralt, they're both two sides of the same coin. They're both Protoss players that did rise through the ranks over the course of 2020 into 2021 into current year, and yeah, they both really achieved a lot, I feel, when it comes to moving up the ranks in their hierarchy in the Polish scene. And they go back and forth. In a PvP, anything can happen. Oh boy. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss player, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Geralt. And spawning in the top left. Oh, they're talking about Sockstar. We'll get a translation soon. In the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano. I'm curious. What was said?
So
I think I
basically,
understand
Geralt
that.
said nice games versus Snogstar, and Christian is like, I played like a noob.
I mean, true.
They also call him the Polish Serral.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that next to a Polish Serral, everybody looks like a noob.
It's very true. It's very true. I mean, you know, I held back a little bit, but Snogstar, he is basically Cyril, essentially, just only from Poland. Alays has got some catching up to do. But oh my god. Again, it was a great series, a really difficult series to follow, and we'll see where we go. Geralt, I think we all know where this is headed. We've casted Geralt many times here in PvPs, and at least once in a series, we need to see a proxy Stargate. He's going to be, hiding the probe here in the tall grass. You love to see it. Second pylon is going to be hidden here, missing from the eyes of Cristiano, and the pylon is thrown down, but we are going to be leaving it alone here. So just a fake proxy pylon for the time being. Geralt looks like he isn't going for a proxy Stargate. Not yet. I imagine that's going to happen at some point this series. Geralt, for whatever reason, he's very fond of proxy Stargate in PvP. But for now, I love it. He's just going, he's like going from tall grass to tall grass. You can't find him. I love it. Keeping that probe hidden out on the map. We do have our 2 gate openers from both players. Cristiano has his second pylon in his main. He's looking for the proxy, by the way. Geralt has that reputation, and Cristiano is looking for it, but alas, he will not come across the pylon itself. It's going to be double Stalker against double Adept. Geralt's going to be going for a more aggressive start here, looking for some economic damage. Cristiano, a much more solid opener, looking to shut down the probes. Shut down whatever comes his way. The pylon is going to be cancelled, and Nexus is thrown down. And we're hoping to chase down this probe, making sure that there is no pylon in the main base, not like earlier today. As Geralt, his tech of choice is going to be a Twilight Council. It's going to be a Twilight Council before Nexus, so a delayed expansion here from Geralt. Going to be threatening a Shade into the main, but we throw down the pylon, we wall off, the Shade doesn't get in. So again, the goal is for Geralt to just continue to test the wall over and over again. Make sure that Cristiano is on point with that pylon block. Again, Cristiano, he has a slightly faster economy and a later blink. So similar builds overall. Cristiano, just a better economy. Geralt with the better tech, or the faster tech. Oof, as we do commit to the Shade, getting the hell out of there, avoiding those Stalkers. Blink on the way for both players. We had a sentry follow-up here from Cristiano, and he's going for that hallucination scout across the map. And with that, we actually do come across the pylon. It has been spotted, has been scouted. Cristiano getting into the main. He does confirm the faster Twilight Council, sees that it is researching, and he should come across the Nexus, or at least sees the long-distance mining. So he's aware that the base has been taken, and slightly later than his own. So Cristiano, he should be aware that Geralt will have a small window where he has Blink, and Cristiano doesn't. So Cristiano has to be wary of that. But it's only a couple of seconds. It's not the biggest timing, not the biggest window. So once again, we do throw down that wall. Geralt taking a slight work early. Looks like one of the Adepts is finally going to go down. Oof, both Adepts do get hunted down here. Nice movement out of Cristiano. Geralt going for a faster third base behind this. Okay. Do love to see it. Doubling down with a faster third. Cristiano a little bit later, but again, not by too long. Not by too much. As Cristiano did see that pylon earlier, and I'm sure he wants to try to shut it down as well. Just in my vision, deny scouting. And potentially supply block Geralt. The pylon will fall. Stalkers are getting in position. Blink is done for the red Protoss, and Blink is soon to finish for the blue. As we recall back home. Again, Geralt, he was hoping to catch Cristiano out of position, but he does recall. Hallucination Scout is going to come across the Stalkers. Cristiano in position. Oof. Doesn't quite get a Stalker. Good blinks out of Geralt. Does evacuate. Does get the hell out of there just in time. Back at home, we're getting into Immortal production. Forges are on the way for both players. I believe there is a Robo from Cristiano, but he's focusing on Observers. Just getting some map vision. Making sure he has detection just in case. Cristiano, he is pushing. Looking at the unit type, Cristiano, he is slightly ahead in Stalkers, but Geralt makes up for that with Sentries and the Immortal as well. We dive in. Oh, the Force feels though they're going to punish this. Stalkers are going down for both players, but this Immortal is doing so much damage in the back line. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Cristiano bleeding out a lot more than his opponent. Oof. Forced to back off. And just like that, in one swift move, Geralt, he evens up the Stalker count. And comes across a couple of Adepts as well. He's being dragged out of position. Does go for the blink, and that means that Cristiano can go right for the third base, but what can he get here? There are some Stalkers in position, and he does have to back off. Geralt, he's looking for the army. He wants to try to cut Cristiano off. And there's no way out from here. He's being cornered. Stalker's going to be going down. This is going to be a big loss here for Cristiano. As he does bypass the army, he runs into another Immortal. Oof. Losing another Stalker. Behind this, we've got a fourth base on the way. Adepts a shade into the third. We have a couple of units in position. And once again, Geralt, he catches out these Stalkers. They can't get home. They just want to go home. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, as we are going to be committing. Stalkers trying to come in from behind. A pseudo surround being set up, but Cristiano, he is behind an army supply. Yeah, being forced to recall, and he will barely escape. Just in time. Those Stalkers, they went on a journey. They went all around the map, being chased down, trying to avoid disaster, and some of them do escape at least. But overall, better trades from Geralt. As we're getting into our fourth bases. Charge on the way, +2 starting up here for Cristiano. +2 delayed for Geralt, instead of going for a gateway explosion. And both players should soon be active. With the arrival of these Warp Prisms, we can move out across the map, we can reinforce, we can harass. When it comes to the army compositions themselves, I still need to give the edge to Geralt with 3 Immortals now. In a head-to-head fight, Stalker v Stalker, Geralt will win. But that's also why it's important to bear in mind that Cristiano is supplementing this army with charge lots. Their goal is to tank those Immortal shots. Be a bit of a buffer zone for his own Stalkers. But again, we do have Zealots as well from Geralt. Geralt just strictly ahead in army supply. Just because of the early game, because of the trades. Here we go, we do have a Prism coming in towards the natural. The armies are going to be clashing. Big warping into the main base. Oh my god! Zealots at the third, no mining at the natural, and we could even push forward towards the fourth. Oh, some awkward SimCity though, working against Cristiano. He is getting a couple of workers, overcharges popped. The main army of Geralt does zone Cristiano away. But probes are going down, we go for another big warp in. Oh my god. Another massive warp in. Meanwhile, Geralt, he's waiting. He's waiting for the army, does clean up some Zealots, but probes are going down. Yeah, these Zealots are wreaking havoc. 24 and counting. 30, over 30 workers are going down, and Geralt, he's got to go. He just has to commit. He's all in. Geralt is forced suddenly completely all in. And Cristiano, he just has to survive. Easier said than done. It all comes down to this one big push. Overcharge is popped. Zealots are closing the distance, and we have 3 Immortals in the back line. Shield battery is going to go down. Overcharge runs out. And we have to give up on this base. The pylon! Oh, and Artosis pylon, it gets... the warping gets denied. Do you have an extra warp in though? And Geralt, he's running out of steam. The Immortals, they're exposed. Yeah, we're closing the distance, and Geralt, he's running out of units, running out of army. The Immortals are going down. We're down to 2. So we get another warp in of Zealots. Boys are being pulled. And Cristiano, he has too much. He was behind. He was having a rough time this game. But GG gets called, and Cristiano takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. The Zealot Warpins were the MVP, just pulling Geralt apart in every single base, in the natural, the third base, and the main, and in the main base especially. The constant Zealot Warpins were not stopped. And just like that, in one fell swoop, Geralt, his economy was crippled, and he was forced into that all-in, into the hands of Cristiano. Oh, GG. And with that, Cristiano does have a lead in this series, but it's a best of 3. It is still a best of 3. Geralt, he can come back. He can bounce back in game 2. He can try. See if he can pull it off. As we're going to be loading in to hard lead. I see what you did there. Basically, a better and more well-polished version of Cyril. Oh. You're an animal, Einstein. That was awful. Oh, God. See, Steel Mold, he may not have casted on the CranKy Ducklings for quite some time, but his spirit is very much so in the chat. Shaking my head. We're getting into game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. Down in the series, it is Geralt. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of Poland, representing Team Blazer. It is Cristiano.
Game paused.
As we are going to be getting a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay, whether it's latency issues or maybe Uber Eats is at the door and we got to get some food. I don't blame him. Don't blame him. Food is important. And still, again, a little bit too early to really determine how this series will progress, but here we go. Looks like the door has been answered. The food has been collected and we're getting back into the game. And so far, we're setting up for a 2-gate opener. 2 gateways on the high ground for both Cristiano and Geralt as well. But we are loading into Hard Lead. Hard Lead, a very short rush distance by ground. Very short rush distance by ground. Or the shortest rush distance by ground map in the map pool. And, yeah, as a result, we have seen a lot of aggressive styles on this map. A lot of aggression, a lot of proxies, a lot of all-ins. Curious if either player does take the bait or if we get into a standard opener instead. The gateways are thrown down. Geralt, we mentioned before, he's been very fond of going for a proxy Stargate play in this matchup. He faked out a proxy in game 1. Here in game 2, I'm curious if he will do the same or this time commit. My eyes are on this probe. As we are moving out towards the right-hand side of the map. Likewise, Cristiano coming in for a scout, and he should recognize that, oh, actually, the second pylon is in the main. Okay. Interesting. That makes this probe that much more interesting. So we have the second pylon in the main. Everything looks normal. Everything looks as it should. And we're going to... Okay, I was like, are we going to throw down an extra pylon? No, we're scouting. Okay. We do just skirt the edge of the map here, but we are going to be committing to the scout. And we have a double adept opener out of Cristiano. Double stalker out of Geralt. So the turns have tabled. If you remember, in the last game, Geralt was the one who was harassing and trying to be aggressive with adepts and wasn't able to find too much success early on. Later on, he did kill workers. Did kill quite a number of probes, and he got himself ahead. And Cristiano is looking to do the same. He's doubling down, though. He's making 2 more adepts, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes 2 more after this as well. Doubling down on adept aggression. Meanwhile, this pylon, is gonna be quite a nuisance here. Probe does fall, but this will delay the expansion. Cristiano already past 400 up to 500 minerals. Up to 600 even, so a big delay here for this Nexus. And yep, there we go. We have 2, 4, soon to be 6 Adepts. So the way this works, 2 Adepts one-shot workers. This is true. But they also get denied by pylon blocks. That is until you amass an even greater amount of Adepts. The goal here is to shade towards this ramp, and even if we have a pylon or a shield battery to block the wall, with enough Adepts, you can DPS through that wall and actually bust into the base anyway and get into the mineral line. This is where you do require enough room to throw down a gateway. There we go. Just like this. To throw down a gateway instead and have a full wall off, as Geralt is pushing out with his Stalkers. That is going to be our 7th and 8th Adept now, moving out. As Cristiano moves out, Geralt is getting ready to push in. Uh-oh. Again, Geralt just constantly throwing down that full wall off of gateways, making sure he's safe and sound. Meanwhile, Cristiano does go for a robo follow-up. Now, as soon as these Adepts reveal themselves, that is when Geralt pushes in. Oh, we threaten the shade, and again, we have a gateway wall. We cannot push into that. There it is. We do force the move out. The Adepts have to recall back home, and we do get 3 worker kills before getting the hell out of there. Good amount of damage is done. Geralt's now ahead in the economy, killing 3 probes for free, essentially. And now we have to move out. Now we have to move back out again. Prism is on the way. I love this Warp Prism. So this is a way to bypass the wall. It's to get around this ramp and to go straight into the main base instead. And so far, Geralt hasn't scouted. He hasn't seen the main. No sentry. Or he does have a sentry, but no hallucination yet. Not yet. As we commit to the shade, we go straight for the mineral line. 2 workers go down, but only 2. We go for the sentry. Sentry will fall, which means no scout of the main base of Cristiano. He will lose half of his Adepts, but the other half make it out. And we can meet up with the Warp Prism. There we go. Just enough to fill up that Warp Prism, going straight for the main base. And because the sentry died, because it got focused down, Geralt doesn't really know what's coming his way. He doesn't know what the opener was or what the follow-up was either. Geralt getting up towards Blink. Blink is about to finish. Additional gateways as well. Oh, and he doesn't see. He doesn't know Adepts. They do make their way towards the main. So far, good SimCity. Only 1 probe goes down. But I spoke too soon. As we get 2 Adepts in both mineral lines, in the natural and the main base, and we focus down so many probes. It's going to be 11 dead workers, up to 12. Not quite 13, but 12 dead workers for 4 Adepts. Again, a worthwhile trade. Behind this, Cristiano going into a Dark Shrine. We already have an Observer on the way, so DTs aren't going to be amazing, but Cristiano has a massive worker lead. He's got 43 probes against the 30 of his opponent. Now, Cristiano, he knows that he's behind in the Stalker count. He also knows he's behind in the Blink timing as well, which is why we have Immortals. We have 2 Immortals. We have a Hallucinated Immortal as well, just to try to defend, try to survive against the counterattack of his opponent. Stalkers are pushing in. At the same time, DT's right into the... Oh my god! They are spotted. We have detection. The DTs will be dealt with. Again, good blinks. 1 DT goes down and the other should be falling soon thereafter. For 1 probe, not worth it. A risky maneuver from Cristiano. Did not pay for itself. Geralt is still focusing on his push. Again, he's got 16 Stalkers at the 6 of his opponents. Oh, doesn't quite get the sentry. 3rd bases are on the way. Geralt, his is already done. And he wants the sentry. Wants whatever he can get. Alas, won't get anything. Barely doesn't one-shot. Cristiano finishing up his own blink. Still just getting into his 3-base saturation. Charge is on the way for Geralt. Cristiano, he avoids charge and he's just still staying on Blink Stalkers and Immortals. Again, interesting choice. But there it is. Now charge is on the way. Am I crazy? Did I see... Okay, I'm crazy. I was like, I swear I saw +1 on the way. +1 is on the way for Cristiano Adepts, continuing to threaten Shays into the natural base. We get one. Oof. One probe. And not worth it once again. Geralt, he's slowly catching up. He has a larger army. Cristiano working on a 4th base. He isn't taking his gases, bear that in mind. Cristiano, he's going for a big kind of zealot supportive army instead. But charge is still lacking. And Geralt is going to push. He has his War Prism. He has his own charge. Another important thing to bear in mind, no forge. There's no forge here from Geralt. He's throwing down 3 more gateways. It's looking like a 3-base all-in. Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine and a Robotics Bay on the way. Interesting. Okay. You see Geralt pushing out. But he is taking up behind this. He may not be focusing on forge upgrades, that's true. But he will have access to disruptors. As his army is going to be spotted. Geralt getting in position, recalling his prism. Still not fully aware where the army is coming from. Is going to be spotted. We do have a couple of Archons. Alright, the DTs. Dark Templar are being morphed in. We have a War Prism threatening the main base. Geralt now taking his 4th. And he's going to be rotating around towards the center of the map. Hoping to distract Cristiano. Keeping his attention here on the front lines. And there's nothing to spot this. Okay, we saw how well the Zealots performed for Cristiano in that last game. Geralt, he does pull the trigger. Dark Shrine is done. Do we have cannons? Oh, we do. Dark Templar on the way. Cannons are in position. We do defend the main. Instead, the DCs, they go for the production, but alas, we have an observer. We shut this down. Cristiano holds. Behind this, Geralt, he's going for that disruptor. Second robo as well. Double disruptor production on the way. So, army-wise, Geralt, he's actually surpassing Cristiano. He's taking up even further. Skipping Archons, skipping Immortals, going straight for disruptors. It's a risky thing to do, but he's getting away with it. Prism was recalled back home. We're going for a big warping of Zealots. The disruptors, they haven't been seen until now. Oh! First Nova goes off. We have one more. One more Nova in the chamber. Good force fields are thrown down, cutting off the army. But the Archons, a breakthrough. We're going straight for the base. Nexus is going to go down. Again, force fields are being broken. Another base gets thrown down immediately. We dive on the Prism. We deny the warp in. Big Novas here on the Immortals as well. But there may just be too much. Reinforcements come in from behind. And Cristiano, he's breaking through. But we have more disruptors. And we have reinforcements. Up. Oh my god. Novas go off. Archons and Zealots should be shut down. Cristiano, he's running out of steam. Ay, ay, ay. He's slowly running out of steam, but we have more Zealot reinforcements coming in from across the map. He's getting on top of the disruptors. One after the other. There's 2 left. There's 1 left. But we don't have detection. The DTs, the Dark Templar, they hold. Geralt, he barely holds on, but he lost so much here in this fight. Cristiano trading so well. Observers should be on the way. But they're not. There's no observer, actually. But the DTs that were morphed into Archons. Another disruptor comes out. Will go down. And it looks like Cristiano, he has too much. And in a turn of events, I was favoring Geralt. Coming into the series, I was favoring Geralt 100%. GG gets called. And Cristiano will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. I don't know what was said. I hope it was PG-13. But regardless, congratulations, Cristiano. He does take the 2-0, advancing on, shutting Geralt down. Again, I want to say that Geralt, he's the stronger, well-rounded player when it comes to his PvT and PvZ. Geralt, he's strong, but here in the PvPs, anything can happen. It can be very unpredictable, and Cristiano, he's the stronger player on the day. He takes the 2-0, and he advances on. GG, well played. And it looks like we have our next series. It does. It looks like we have another series that has been lying in wait here. We're going to be getting into a TVZ between Spirit and Aristery. Oh boy, so little room to breathe. But we have a couple of updates. We have some updates here, as it looks like Art did take down Bapi 2-0. My condolences to Bapi. He did so well last time. He did so well making it to the finals. This week, Bapi, he does go down to Arts as PvP. PvPs, it happens, Bapi, it happens. So Art does advance on. He's waiting in the semifinals. So is Cristiano. Art is waiting for the winner of Spirit versus Aristery. Cristiano is waiting for the winner of Elazer versus Rodzin. Where's my coffee emote? Oh, there it is. Here we go. So yeah, we have our next series lined up for us. Again, big shout out to Aristery and Spirit. They were patiently waiting for our series to wrap up. I believe Elazer versus Rodzin should be ongoing, and for those that are curious, both semifinals will be casted. So we may be saying goodbye to Cristiano for now, but we'll be joining him later on in those semifinals. As the beeps are upon us, we're getting into our next best of 3, our next quarterfinals match. Here we go. Also, good. Is there a safe translation for what Geralt said? Do we need to know?
I'll be entirely honest. I missed it.
Okay. Fair enough. As here we go. We're getting into our next series. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the Polish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Twisted Minds. It is Aristery. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his next opponent. We have the best Terran player in all of Poland. The only Terran player. Feel Ziggy, man. Feel Ziggy. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is Spirit. Again, I don't even think I don't even think historically there had been that many Terran players in Poland, but you know, Spirit, he is the only one we need, really, and he is the strongest player in the region currently. You know, at times a Elazer can maybe threaten him, a Geralt can maybe threaten him, but for the most part, Spirit is the dominant force, and we'll see if anyone can bring him down. For now, Aristery, oh my god, doing his best Snogstar impression, going for a gas first, going for a gas pool. Let's go. Like, give credit. What are you talking about? It's the Cyber John. Yeah, for those that are curious, I did mention it before, and but Kura is handling the production. And she should be joining me for a cast later on here in the tournament. Later on in the evening. Until then, though, we're getting into our openers. Again, Aristery, he did go for a gas first. Rushing into Link Speed, hasn't pulled out a gas. So this can go one of 3 ways. Just like last time. Baneling Nest, Roach Warren, or a fast lair. And we now know it's a fast Roach Warren. So Aristery, he's going completely all in, rushing into Roaches. Oh, as we're getting a bit of a pause, and hopefully everything is okay. I didn't notice any latency on my end, but again, maybe hopefully we're able to sort things out here. Can confirm, at least on my end, latency is looking good. Real good. All good. Oh, as we're settling into this. And for the time being, Spirit did go for a more economic opener as well. This is actually going to line up quite nicely here. So Aristery, he's going for a Roach Rush, and this is a good way to punish something that Spirit does quite often in this matchup. CC first. Spirit did go for a CC first on the low ground, is a CC into Rax. Very greedy opener. Now, with this, the command center should be safe, but this delays the this delays the Rax, it delays the factory, it delays the starport, it delays everything else. And Aristry should be looking to punish him. Here we go. Lings are moving out. Looking to threaten that natural. Factory is on the way. Roach 1 in production, and Aristry has already rocked up here with his Lings. He can't delay the CC, but he does get into the main. Already wreaking some havoc. He's going to delay the factory. Oh! Does delay that factory from being built. SV on the low ground should go down as well. And again, this is really just a setup. This isn't meant to do too much damage. This is meant to really lay things up for the follow-up, which is, of course, going to be those roaches as they are in production. Spirit throwing down that bunker. We have that Overlord on the right-hand side for high ground vision. Spirit now aware that something is wrong. He hasn't scattered his opponent, but the likelihood of there being a roach rush is quite high. And Spirit is getting ready for it. As again, Aristry is completely all in. Linksby kicks in. Up! Up! Can he get... He will. He will get us around. Reaper gets knocked down. We do have the starport on the way. Ravagers being produced. We have 2 Ravagers, 2 Roaches, and nothing but Lings moving on out. With the help of this Overlord, we should be able to pile down the wall and flood into the main. Cyclone in production. Yeah, this depot should go down. We get the lock-on. Ah, the Overlord. The Overlord taking a lot of hits, but we do bust into the main. The wall has been broken, and Spirit is supply blocked. Was supply blocked. We get on top of the army. The Cyclone goes down. The Biles will connect. Can we bring down the bunker? The repairs, it looks like the repairs are just barely too good. And the Ravagers are being surrounded. Oof. Biles even taking down the Roach as well. A lot of SCVs are falling, but Aristry, he's running out of steam. The final Ravager falls, and it looks like we should be able to defend. We need to kill more SCVs. We get into the mineral line. We're focusing now whatever we can. But the Marines do come out. And this just wasn't enough damage. You can see that Aristry, he's trying to drone. He's trying to produce some workers. But Spirit is ahead economically. And he may be down 3 workers, but he has 2 CCs. He has plenty of mules to work with as well. Oh my god. As 4 mules get thrown down. And Spirit, he's ahead in tech with that 1-1-1 going into Banshee production. It wasn't a bad all-in from Aristry, but he just barely... He got on top of... He broke into the main. He got on top of the Cyclones, but he couldn't break down that bunker. And now we're going for a Bane Bust. I like this, actually. I like this. So we droned up a little bit, but then we changed our minds. We're going for a Bane Bust instead. Hoping that maybe Spirit does expose himself. Maybe he leaves himself vulnerable. But the problem is we have Banshees on the way. And a 3rd CC. Is this going to be enough? Banshee moves out, and we're going to be scouting. And we come... Oh, God. We come across the Banelings. Banelings are going to be focused down one after the other. We're waddling up the ramp. Can we break in? How many Banelings will make it? Oh. As we do barely bust through that wall. Depot falls, but we barely have anything left. Oh my god. The target firing is too good. We run out of Lings. We run out of Banelings. We run out of steam. GG gets called, and Spirit will hold. And we'll take game number 1. GG. Oh my god. Again, it was quite close. I do like the all-in, or the idea of the all-in overall. But when it comes to the execution, barely wasn't enough. There was also some friendly fire, if you recall. We actually piled down some of our own Lings, and we piled down some of our own Roaches as well. So again, the execution was lacking a little bit, and Aristry just barely wasn't able to break Spirit. And with that, Spirit takes the lead in the series. He's up 1-0. Up 1-0. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. Looks like it's going to be on Hecate for game 2. Spirit, he just needs one more to advance on to the semi-finals, where he has his opponents ready and waiting. Again, Arch is waiting for either Spirit or History. Alazer versus Rodzin, still ongoing, surprisingly enough. Still ongoing. And yeah, we'll kind of see where this all does line up. Where it all falls, as the lobby has been made and we are filing on in. Again, going to be on Hecate, a bit of a larger map. Typically lends favorably towards, the mid game, towards the late game. Can even end up in a split map scenario as well. I'm curious what Aristry brings to the table. Game 1, he went for a one-base all-in. Did appreciate the efforts. Did make sense considering, how powerful and how terrifying Spirit is. But after you fail with a one-base all-in, I feel like game 2, we should be seeing some more macro play, right? Question mark? I assume so. But we'll see. See what Aristry has ready for us. Show us what you got. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the red Zerg player from the land of Poland representing Twisted Minds. It is Aristry. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player from the land of Poland representing Sidestorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is Spirit. Oh, let's go. And this is not what I had in mind. When it comes to what Aristry could bring to the table, I was thinking, okay, maybe we go for like a 12 pool. Maybe we go for like a Link Queen Nidus all-in off of 2 bases. I was not thinking Proxy Hatch. This is wild. The drone does skirt around the edge of the map. The hatchery has been thrown down. And Proxy Hatches are very uncommon against Terran. Very uncommon. The only player that I know who has done this before is Eric. Eric has proxy hatched Terran players in the past, but he only does it to spread creep, to like force overreactions, to spread creep and like ensue chaos and transition behind it. I'm assuming that Aristry is planning for something a little bit different. Something very different here. As we do have Spirit once again going for the CC first. Very greedy, very economic. CC first into the racks from Spirit. I mean, he survived in the last game. But again, we'll see what Aristry brings to the table. We'll see how this all comes together in the end. I imagine roaches. We may skip link speed, go straight into roaches and produce roaches here on the front lines. Of course, spreading creep as well. And yeah, I'm curious. Yep, there it is. Roach Warren. Makes sense. So this time we shouldn't see link speed. We should be making roaches in the face of Spirit. And we'll see how much success we have punishing the greed of the Terran. Queen is on the way. Going to be joining up as well. Overlord coming in from behind. Getting eyes on the natural. And just confirming that it was the CC first, so that's already a good thing for Aristry. It's like, okay, you're cutting corners, you're being greedy. I should be able to punish you. And this is true, he should be able to. Reaper is going to be moving out. No SCV scout, by the way. But the Reaper is staying at home. Overlord coming in. I believe the Reaper hasn't been seen, but the Reaper doesn't check. Oh! Barely does see the creep. Now the jig is up. Roaches have arrived. 3 of them. We have a 4th roach on the way. Bunker now gets thrown down, and we're going straight for the ramp. Straight for the SCVs even. Can we deny that bunker? Oh, don't get surrounded. Don't get surrounded as the SCVs are coming for a surround. Reaper adding a little bit of extra DPS as well. So far, the kiting is good. SCVs are falling left and right. The bunker will finish. clutch morph there. Ravagers on the way. And we take down 8 SCVs. The bunker's still not done. Oh, but the Cyclone arrives just in time. Spirit, he holds onto that ramp. Has lost control of his natural for the most part. Additional Ravagers are on the way. Again, no link speed with this. Just Roach's Ravagers. Creep pushing forward. We do have that Overlord for high ground vision. We're going straight for the bile, straight for the reactor even. There we go. The reactor and the depot should go down. Good pickoffs here from Aristry. Forcing the lift off. That's now 2 Cyclones. Oh, the lock-ons. Oh, no. Oh, my God. 1 Ravager goes down. They got stuck on each other. And that depot somehow survives as well. We do see Aristry backing off. Ling's speed on the way. Lings are coming out. And, yeah, he's just doubling down here on the all-in. And he has to be very careful with his control here. No, the Ravager. Oh, my God. Barely survives. Lings are amassing. The wall has been broken. Spirit, though, he's working on it. Throwing down another wall. We're up to 2 Cyclones. We have up to 3 Cyclones. We have a 4th on the way. Oh. So far, good target firing. Good pullbacks here as well. But, the Banshee arrives. Cloak is on the way. And we have 1 Queen to deal with the Banshee. As the Banshee focuses on whatever Ravagers we can. We get 1. We're going to get 2. We have to commit. We're pulling the trigger. We're going straight for the main base. Filing down the bunker. Oh, it barely does survive. And do we have enough Lings? The target firing is too good. Ravagers are going down. We bile down that. We don't bile down the bunker. It survives. It refuses to die once again. And it looks like Spirit is going to be able to hold on. 1 Cyclone, 1 Banshee, the bunker. It all stands strong. GG gets called. Spirit survives and will take the 2-0. GG. Aristry. This all-in had a lot more, looked a lot more promising. We were able to see quite a lot of damage done, a lot of SCVs going down, but it barely was not enough. Again, Spirit always just keeping a cool, calm, and collected head, able to get into his Banshee production, able to preserve his Cyclones as well, get the bunker up and running, and yeah, solid defense, solid hold out of Spirit. Does advance on to the upper semifinals. And with that, I believe we're going to be going on a short break. Readers are underway. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, Spirit versus Art, and we'll have some more casters as well. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We apologize for the extended break, but we did miss out on a game. Unfortunately, we're jumping in mid-series, and this is the ace match of a quarterfinals, the last quarterfinals match of the tournament. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the purple Protoss Polish player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Rodzin. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Polish Zerg player, the best Zerg in all of Poland, representing Team Liquid. It is a laser. So again, we are here in the ace match. In that last game was a pretty interesting one. I was just tuning into Indy's stream, and we saw a laser go mass meter in a long game on Alcyone, up to a 4 base economy for both players, and Rodzin went for a big kind of immortal Archon base push with Storm. It barely wasn't able to make it happen though, but yeah, really impressive nonetheless that we're here in the ace match. I don't think anyone casted game 1. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover that first game, but Indy was at least able to cover that second game as well, which is where a laser started his comeback. And yeah, again, we mentioned before that when it comes to the Polish Protoss players, whether it's Cristiano or Geralt, or even Mana at times, they have actually made a laser work hard for trying to work through this tournament bracket, and they have at times beaten a laser. Will it happen again? Can Rodzin take him down? Even a couple of weeks ago in the finals of a laser versus Papi, Papi took games. He took games off of a laser, and he looked damn good as well. So, oh boy, it seems that Protoss can sometimes be the bane of a laser's existence. But we'll see. We'll see if he can, of course, fight back and claw his way back into at least the semifinals. Or if we have our underdog popping off instead. For now, we have a gate expand into the Cybercore, standard opener here from Rodzin, likewise a hatch gas pull from a laser. The early game is looking normal. We've seen a lot of cheese already today, by like Aristory and Sockstar, but a laser, he's a much more straight up and standard player, especially in ZVP. He's a much more reactive player, and we should be seeing him drone up, saturate his bases, and more or less try to keep up with Rodzin brings to the table. The purple players, right? Like, I don't know what happened earlier, but like Geralt and Cristiano, they refused to pick pink and purple. I don't know why. What's going on? They refused that. Rodzin, though, he knows what's up. He knows what is important. That is the color of the race. The purple. Ah, beautiful. And it is indeed going to be a Twilight Council opener here out of Rodzin. Okay, so this could lead into a couple of different ways. We're going to be keeping our eye on the gases here, and if we do pull out a gas, it should be 4-gate Glaive Adepts. If we stay in gas, it can be 6-gate Glaive Adept. It could be DTs, a Dark Shrine variation. Regardless, aggression is soon to be upon us. Back across the map, a laser going to be taking his third. Again, droning for the time being. Does have an Overlord hidden behind the natural. Was denied though. Was zoned away. And there it is. Glaives are in production. And we haven't pulled out of gas, by the way. We're staying in. And if we're staying in gas, it has to be for a reason. Either we throw down additional gateways, more than the 4 that we're going to be working with, or we throw down a tech structure. I'm feeling DTs, but we'll see. For now, 4 gates. 4-gate Glaive Adepts here for the time being. Whether we throw down a Dark Shrine or a Fast Robotic Spay, yet to be determined. As a laser is still in the dark, he is making an abundance of lings. They're going to be moving out, looking for some map control. Prism is on the way. Still have not pulled out of gas. And a laser, a little bit greedy. He hasn't thrown down a Baneliness or a Roach Warren. We typically want to throw them down at around the 4-minute mark. There we go. Now thrown down a little bit later on, but it should still be done in time. And there it is, Dark Shrine. So because we stayed in gas, we knew that it should either be 2 more gateways or another tech. And Dark Shrine is the more common follow-up here for Rodzin. So he's going to be doubling down on the aggression. Thankfully, a laser is throwing down a safety spore. He is getting ready for this spore here in between the natural and the main, and a spore at the third base. Dark Templar will have a hard time doing damage, as the Adepts have arrived. Now, what's important is that these Adepts, they're not just going to be threatening bases, but they're also going to be getting eyes on where the spores are. They see a spore at the third. He knows that not the best place to attack. Again, there's also a spore in between the bases. There is no spore into the main. It's possible that we could try to sneak a couple of DTs right into the main base by ferrying them with this prism. Meanwhile, across the map, ooh, a massive Ling counterattack here. Getting on top of the gateways, getting on top of the wall. As the Adepts, they actually race back home. Ay, ay, ay. The wall is still solid, and the Lings have to engage. A lot of Lings will go down, actually. But a rough trade, or a rough moment here for Rodzen, delaying his push. Dark Templar warped into the main base, but we have a Spore in position. Spore is already here. Extra Spore on the way in the main. Adepts, they do threaten the third, but Roaches are on the way, and a laser, for the most part, he has held. He has dealt with this. He is not taking any economic damage. So far, really good defense here from a laser, and we're doubling down. That is a gateway explosion. We should be seeing a third base, but no, we throw down more gateways instead, which means this is leading into a two-base all-in. With Archons. Archons, Immortals, Glaive Adepts as well. It's all or nothing here for Rodzen, and he's going to be hoping that a laser drones up too much. And a laser is droning. He should be getting up to 3-base saturation. All 6 gases are being taken. Lair is on the way. Eva chamber for +1. We should be getting a 4th hatchery as well. But again, all these things, not investing in army. Yeah, a laser. Sorry, Rodzen, he needs to fake out an expansion. 3rd base is on the way. We're going for an Archon drop into the main as well. And we're going to be able to shut down at least an Overlord. Get an Overlord. We're going to be getting into the mineral line. Oh, just barely not. And behind this, we are still not making workers. That's what's important. No probing here from Rodzen. He's doubling down on charge lots, Archons, Immortals. Archons, they have been spotted. That is a bit of a tell. We're actually making workers, though. Additional probes are on the way. Rodzen squeezing out a couple of workers, but here we go. The push is upon us. The Prism meets up with the army. As he moves out, Lings do come in for a big counterattack. And we're going to be forcing a cancel on this 3rd base. We're already all in to begin with. And hopefully we don't let it finish, just so we can have some extra warp-ins here. As no, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. That's all or nothing for Rodzen. He has to make this work. Wiles will be connecting. Decent juggling here on the Archons, but there's a wall of Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens. And only one Immortal. The Lings are coming in for a surround. And a laser, he should completely shut this down. The Archons are doing well for themselves, but the Vials connect, and Rodzen, he's running out of steam. Running out of army. He's juggling his heart out here with the Archon, with the Immortal. GG gets called, and a laser will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. A laser does make it in the end. Did stumble in game number 1, which was unseen, but for the most part was able to keep up here in game number 2 as well. And with that, we have our semi-finalists. We have our semi-finalists for the upper and lower half, and it looks like the vetoes are done, lobbies made, and we're getting into Spirit versus Art. Here we go. And as we get ready for the upper semifinals, do I have a co-caster? Oh. Halloween's already done. It's over.
My bad.
It's over.
Yes, hello. Now I have to set everything as the game is starting. Nothing could go wrong.
Let's go. Everyone, welcome
chat, let me know if I am a bit too loud or a bit too quiet, because I might have changed some audio settings and I don't know how they went.
There we go. Those wondering, Kura, of course, she is 16th was Senseki, has been handling the production and usually handles social media for the CranKy Ducklings, as well as making all the overlays, all the graphics. Does work hard behind the scenes, and every now and then we're able to do some casting together, whether it's some OSC King of the Hill or some regional Polish tournaments. Also helps with translations, a little bit at least.
What do you mean a little bit? My translations are perfect.
You didn't catch him last time. What Geralt said.
It's not my fault that I wasn't looking at the exact that moment that happened. But anyway, yes, I'm frantically trying to make sure everything is set. We are now in game and we are in hard-led league. Look at our first player. It is representing Poland. Representing Platinum Heroes. It's the pink Polish Protoss player. It is Art.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best Terran player in all of Poland, representing Storm Gaming. It is Spirit. Finally, we get a pink Protoss. Finally.
I mean, I feel like Art is one that typically chooses that kind of colors.
Yeah, Art. Pappy as well. Pappy.
I mean, sure. But like, I feel like Art is one that's very consistent about it.
Mm-hmm. He knows what the people want.
True. So, yes, I will fix the title. Hold on. You can hear me typing. I'm gonna lean into the keyboard.
As we are getting ready for this, and we do have our openers of choice as well. Spirit going for an economic opener, going for a Rax Expand. Again, he's known for his economic greedy plays at times, so nothing too crazy out of Spirit. I feel like really our eyes are on Art. Again, we've spoken about this before, but it is really cool to see Art returning to the game. He was on a bit of a hiatus, and if you remember, Kura, we used to cast Art back in the day, back when Art was actually living in Korea for some time.
True.
And I can't believe that that's been years ago at this point. It feels like yesterday, but that was like 2020 or even 2019.
Wait,
time
really?
ago.
Has it been that long?
Smooch.
I can feel my bones getting no. But yeah, it does seem like it just happened, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fun fact for those who don't know, there was even a possibility that Art could have even been on the CranKy Ducklings. I remember before Art joined the Platinum Heroes, he was, I think he was coming back from Korea, or he was still in Korea at the time. This was like 2020. And I remember he reached out. He was like, "Yo, is there maybe a spot on the Ducklings?" At the time, I think we were focusing on like we weren't really looking for like European representation, but yeah, like that was almost a reality.
Yeah, and I mean, Art was like a very active participant of the Tuna Cups for quite a while. Also, for those who want updates on what is going on, Spirit called for a pause, and Art's question is, are you still giving that interview?
Oh. And then Spirit said yes.
No, he said no.
He's still giving the interview as we speak. But yeah, as you were saying, like he was a very active player in our online tournament scene, not just our online tournaments, but OSC events in general. And he was an up and comer. Like I remember we were kind of hyping him up leading into the DreamX season of 2020 and eventually 2021 as well. He did well for himself, relatively well. Then he took a bit of a step back from the game. He took a bit of a break. I think nowadays his attention is a little bit more focused elsewhere, or at least it was. And now he's back. And he's been back for a couple of months at this point, and he's been doing quite well for himself, almost like he never left. When he did leave, that was like the rise of Geralt and Christiana, and they kind of took the limelight. And now Art's back.
True, I do feel like Geralt and Christiana. I mean, no, yeah, like I feel like both of them actually like rose to the top when Art was gone. It's like they used the opportunity to become the top Protoss of Poland.
Pretty much. Pretty much. But now he's back, so now the contention for best Protoss in Poland is still up in the air, and Yeah, we'll see if Art can keep up with these youngsters. I mean, I say that. I think they're all like the same age.
They probably like the same age. To be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how old Art is. To be fair.
I think early 20s.
Yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, they're all close. I just don't know exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Cristiano is
Especially with-
younger, so.
Yeah, especially with Geralt shaving his mustache. Like
Oh, yeah.
he's lost a couple of years with that as well. So.
Yeah, as he shaved, he just lost the years.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works, guys. If you want to be
That's why
younger,
Yaku will-
just shave.
It's why Yaku will always be a kid because he can never grow patience.
True, very accurate.
Feels bad, man. As Artie comes in for a bit of a scout, we have our take of choice. By the way, it's going to be a Twilight Council, not a Stargate.
I mean, it's not Geralt. Yeah, what did Geralt not go Stargate in one of the games? I was very surprised.
Yeah, no proxy Stargate. He faked it in game 1 on Oceanborn. Maybe that's why he lost.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably the reason.
Not like this. We have a Cyclone rocking up, and we do get a lot of damage already on that Stalker. Oh my god, we're going to be able to pick off a couple of workers as well. I just realized, Kura, we actually haven't really been casting too often. And I actually solo casted the last Polish edition of the tournament as well. Have you casted at all this patch?
I think so. I think I did.
Have you?
I think I did. This patch isn't that new.
It's like a month old.
No shot. Someone check this. Also, read for the stalkers.
Stalkers are good. Yeah, have you? Like, I don't think you've casted on Red. I don't think we've casted this new patch together.
No, I did because we talked about the map names.
Okay. Oh yeah, you casted week 1 of this tournament.
Yeah. Week 1 or 2? I don't know. But yeah, I remember specifically that I casted the Polish tournament because we were talking about the Polish pronunciations.
True. How do you pronounce his name in Polish?
His name? What name?
Hardlet.
Oh, as the. Okay, no.
Oh no! The retargeting! Oh no! Don't come back, it's not safe!
Okay. Both players kinda playing chicken there.
As a mind drop comes in, okay, so a lot's been going on. Earlier, Art did actually scout his opponent. He was able to confirm the 1-1-1 follow-up of Spirits, getting into his 3-1-1 setup. So everything's looking pretty standard here, building up towards an eventual tank push. Likewise, Spirit did confirm the opener of Art, and Art did go for an economic opener. It was a 3-gate into a 3rd base, so just very gateway heavy. And we can see even our transition here. There's no splash damage. We're going down, or we're doubling down here on a gateway army instead.
Yeah, definitely going full gateway here. We're getting the charge. We're getting Templar archives as well, so I assume some Archons are coming too. And yeah, it's just gonna be gateway army all the way.
Yeah, more of a swarm toss composition. This should be leading towards Storm as well. That's going to be our splash damage of choice. And there it is. Storm has started up for Art. Across the map, Spirit is not going for a 2-base all-in. He has thrown down his CC, and I believe the Observer has spotted it as well.
It's not that way. However, he will be moving out on the map, maybe just to secure this 3rd base, but maybe also trying to see if he can get some damage done. But looks like just making sure everything is safe. At the same time, though, the Raven is there.
Yeah, we're going to get a couple of worker kills. 2 probes go down. We do have a blink, though, and the Raven is going to get shut down. A pretty expensive loss. And he only gets 2 workers. Not the best trade here from Spirit, but that does at least keep the attention of Arts back at home as he is committing to his push.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but at the same time, all these units that were chasing the Raven already had the time to come back to the 3rd base, and it looks like most of them will be ready for this defense, but they may be out of position.
Yeah, the Observer did miss the move out, and Spirit, he's getting in position, siege up his tanks as well, getting within range of the 3rd base, and Storm is done, by the way. Oh my god!
Very nice storms landing on the entire army, and the Widow Mines do help a lot. The War Priest is actually really low now.
Yeah, take a big shot to the face. Overcharge is popped. The base is getting a bit low, but it looks like Artie should be able to get on top of this tank. He should be able to shut this down. There is no more War Prism. A lot of bio units, though. We are going to be able to hold on, but Art does protect his 3rd.
Yeah, the defense was successful in the end, and now Art will try to go for counter-offensive, but at the same time, Spirit was preparing a drop, going right now into the main base.
Yeah, we do have a warp in. Do we recall back home? No, we're committing to the attack instead. Workers are going to be going down for both players. Spirit going for a really good position here, nullifying a little of that surface area here on his units.
Yeah, the Zealots have no way of getting to the bio units. At the same time, though, Art is denying the third base, but he's also losing his own.
Yeah, exactly. We drop into the third as well. Probes are going down. SCVs are going down as well. The economy in shambles for both players, but it looks like Art is being cleaned up, and Spirit is still wreaking havoc in the main base.
Yeah, the bio was not clean. It's just a few Marauders at this point, but they're still running around, they're still doing damage, still more probes are going down, and all of the production in the main base is unpowered.
Yeah, GG is going to get called, and Spirit will take game number 1, snowballing out of control, getting almost 30 probe kills there towards the end.
GG. Yeah, it really looked like very quickly the game snowballed in favor of Spirit. Like Art defended the first attack, everything looked fine, and then he just collapsed.
Yeah, Art, he took a bit of a risk, took a bit of a chance by going for his own counter-offensive, and he was getting some economic damage, this is true, but again, that just paled in comparison to how efficiently Spirit was trading, and I do think a big part of that was the SimCity working against Art. Art, if you remember, to defend, he tried to warp in with... Oh no! Art, he tried to warp in with... Get into our lobby, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, did you leave me?
But it looks like, but again, when it comes to the defense, we were trying to warp in and defend with Zealots, and the Zealots, they couldn't really get on top of the army. The SimCity, again, working against Art and Spirit, he was able to just, maintain his position, at least in the main.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, hold on, be right back, I got a phone call.
Okay. As we are getting into that second game, it's going to be on site Delta. As a reminder to everyone, this is a best of 3. Best of 3, so we do have plenty of opportunities to come back and to force an ace match as well. I want to believe that we can get there, but it's not up to me. It is up to the players. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of site Delta, we have the blue Terran player from the land of Poland representing Snowstorm Gaming. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. Here we go. Oh, and we're gonna pop off. We are popping off here as Spirit went for a very economic opener in that last game, but here in game number 2, we have a proxy 2 racks on the horizon. Did I say 2 racks? Is my apologies, because we have a third SCV. It's going to be 3. 3 racks is on the way. Spirit going to be doubling down with his aggression. Art none the wiser back at home. He's just setting up for his own gate expand. No probe scout yet. Hopefully we see one soon, because the racks, they're coming. They are coming. Spirit, he wants to get this over with. He wants to go back to his DreamHack Atlanta interview. As for now, he's just working on his racks. Again, no gases have been taken, so this is going to be proxy Marine. Bunker should be thrown down as well here on the front lines, and Art is just now going for his Cybercore, going for the expand, and then we'll be scouting. So a very late probe scout. Oh, he's not scouting at all. No probe scout here from Art. He is in the darkness of what's going on, and little does he know that Spirit, he's just building up his Marines.
Yeah, Spirit just going really aggressive this game. I guess he didn't like that Art was almost able to defend in the previous one and decided to just finish it quickly.
Yeah, so this is very committed here from Spirit, because it is, of course, 3 racks is not 2. He has SCVs. He should be throwing down some bunkers momentarily as well. He's just biding his time, building up his army. Again, Art's taking a big risk for not scouting, and he's going to be punished for it. He's going to be punished very hard here, as he has no idea what's going on. He's taking up. He skipped his Zealot. He has, only 1 unit to defend.
Yeah, this is terrifying. This single Adept will not be able to contest the Marines. I mean, the Stalker may come out in time, but still, with how many Marines are being being made? Wait, are those SCVs?
Well, yeah, they're the ones
No,
that
no,
made
no, no,
them.
they're from the other base. I think we're pulling
right.
a lot of boys right now
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, so this will be a whole party in the base of art.
I don't even think we need these SCVs, but they're going to be coming nonetheless here as Spirit is completely all in. The pylon goes down, and we have a shield battery on the way. We have a wall on the way here on top of the ramp. We have 2 units at least, and likewise, Art pulls his own boys.
Yeah, he does, but he pulls them straight into the Marines, and they are making short work of them. The SCVs are falling as well, that is true, but so many losses in probes.
Yeah, the shield batteries, they just aren't on. The Adept goes down. We have 1 Stalker remaining here. We do get on top of the Marines. Second Stalker comes out.
2 Stalkers, but all of the probes are going down. Is there any left? There are 2 probes left total.
Yeah, 2 workers left. GG gets called. There's nothing remaining here for Art, and Spirit will take the 2-0.
GG, very well played, but still very aggressive. Like, I mean, I did not expect that much aggression from Spirit, honestly. He's generally more of a macro player.
Yeah, it's a really good way to kind of play with your reputation, because Spirit, he's known for going CC first and known for just cutting corners and being really economic, which is why Art probably didn't feel the need to scout. It's why he cut corners himself. You know, he skipped the probe scout, assuming that there would be no reason to, and Spirit just kind of, again, played with his reputation and punished Art, and got a clean and easy 2-0. GG.
GG. Nicely done. And with that, Spirit will be moving on to those finals, and we will have another semi-final coming up, which will be a Laser versus Cristiano.
Yeah, Spirit, he was the favorite to advance on to the final, to have a finals run, and he is now going to be there in those finals. But we still have to determine who meets him there. Again, we have seen a Laser fall to Protoss players in the past in this very tournament. He has dropped games to Cristiano, to Papi, to Rodzin, and we'll see if that happens again here as we're getting ready for our second last series of the night. That PVZ, that Cristiano versus a Laser.
Yes, indeed. And I will say, I am a little bit curious what happened in the game 1 of a Laser versus Rodzin. What happened? Why? It's not even about the score, but the fact that Rodzin was just so excited about that game, like in the chat. Like, I don't know what must have happened there.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like Glavedeps into DTs. The reason why I say that is because if you remember, he tried to do that in game 3, and a Laser looked surprisingly prepared for it. As in, he did not skip out on those spores. He was very quick to throw them down. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was maybe somehow correlated to what happened in game 1. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but yeah, a Laser seemed very prepared for that sort of thing and shut it down so hard in game 3. So that's my prediction. But I mean, who knows? Could have been anything. Could have been, you know, a proxy. Could have been cannon rush. Anything.
I'm just trying to think what would spark such a reaction. Because Rodzin was just hyped after that first game. He was just screaming in the chat.
And he'll have another chance. I'm sure he'll have another chance later on in some more of these weeklies, in these bi-weeklies. But for now, it looks like the vetoes are still underway. So we have a little bit of time to ourselves here, as I think the vetoes just started. So yeah, with that, do we have any confirmation, by the way? Do we have any confirmation on when the offline event is going to occur, or is it still...
As far as I know, we do not, unless something has changed today. But as far as I know, they have been rescheduled to January, probably end of January, but nothing specific.
Okay.
Because for those who don't know, originally the finals of the house event were supposed to be on the on the second weekend of December, but that is exactly the same weekend that the IEM qualifiers were announced. So, you know, even though the European qualifiers are in the week and the weekend is just the Americas, still some of the players want to participate in those. So, you know, the organizer didn't really want to clash there. So instead they decided to reschedule the tournament to make sure that everyone can participate.
Yeah. It's one of those things where at times it can be a shame because the qualifiers were announced, relatively recently, like as we were
Mhm.
preparing for that sort of thing. But it is nice to see that the organizers are willing to be accommodating. And we're
I
gonna
mean,
be making sure we don't clash as much as we can.
yeah, it's one thing the organizers, but also it's great to see from the venue because the whole thing about the finals was that it was supposed to be offline, so you also have to like set it with the venue because they already reserved the place and everything. So I mean, I'm just glad that they were able to do that.
Yeah, it can always be really difficult to set that up. So, yeah, for those of you that are curious, again, look forward to it in January. The offline finals will be a thing. We've already had an offline event at the house kind of gaming bar and gaming land, and yeah, it's gonna be, I'm sure, a lot of fun, and we'll do our best to cover it. Do our best.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking, should I go there? Should I go to the LAN?
We could. I
Because
mean,
I
you've said
could.
that it's a little bit far, but like,
It
yeah, I
is.
mean, you should go with your brother as well. You should.
True.
I don't know if he's still interested in that sort of thing. But yeah, it would be
I
fun. It would be
mean,
fun.
look, he just is less of a degen than I am. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
True.
But yeah, I mean it is several hours from where I live, but I could potentially show up just to see what it looks like in person because I'll be honest, I've never been to like this kind of like local Polish LAN. I've been to like a smaller LAN tournament where it's like like university LAN tournament or something. Like I've been to those, but not to like something organized specifically by the Polish StarCraft community.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you never went to the eSport event, right?
No.
Mm.
And it's the same.
Those
It's also in Warsaw because
Yeah.
both House and eSport are in Warsaw.
Yeah. There was the eSport event. There was, God, I think those are the only ones that we covered. But
Mhm.
yeah. It may be nice to meet up with everyone. Maybe nice.
Just make live updates from the spot.
Yeah, you can meet Danzig.
I have met him actually. I have met him at IEM.
Meet him again.
But anyway, it's time to begin our second semi-final, as we are now in game on side Delta, and we are looking at our first player in the bottom right of the map. We have our blue Protoss player, from Blazer. It is Cristiano.
On brand.
Yeah.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the best Zerg player in all of Poland, the red Zerg representing Team Liquid. It is a laser.
So, as is tradition, as when I'm casting Polish tournaments, I will try to pronounce it as a laser.
Yeah, like Geralt.
My brain is very confused when I speak English and then pronounce things in Polish. And I still don't know which one it is. I don't know which one he prefers.
Just wait, and then you ask him, and then he just gives you a completely different answer to all three.
No, he would probably just shrug. It's probably like Yanji, where it's like it's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I also don't mind however people say my name as except Kuro. Do not call me Kuro.
I was gonna say Kueo. Is that?
No, I don't mind
different.
that because that's like an inside joke essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm being called Krupo,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of that. But like
It's true.
one that actually irritates me is Kuro. It's so weird. There's no J or Y or anything there. Why are you pronouncing it like that?
But we are getting into our opener. So far, everything looking normal, everything looking standard. My eyes are still on Cristiano. Again, this is going to be a rematch from, I want to say, last edition. Both Alazer and Cristiano did face off. They did go toe-to-toe, and Cristiano was able to take games. I still remember that Solaris game, which was so close between the two of them. Essentially, Cristiano was playing the same way every game, where he was just building himself up, getting into a third base, delaying his Twilight Council, getting into a heavy Immortal and Archon Storm kind of based army and going for a death ball push across the map. I'm curious if he's going to do the same. Again, that's what he was relying on last time, 2 weeks ago, But that was 2 weeks ago. You know, it's been quite some time.
Well, we won't have Immortals for now, at least, as we are going for Stargate instead, and the first Adept is already moving across the map.
Yeah, there should be a Stargate opener into a third base. Again, from here, then we can start getting into those Immortals and Archons. But for now, the opener is normal, is standard. Adept going to be threatening that third. Lings are on the way as well, just to keep up with the aggression of Cristiano.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious how good Cristiano's control is with that Oracle, because I have been spoiled by some Geralt Oracles. Like, he's having fun with those.
I mean, that's his unit, you know? That's why he likes his proxy Stargates. He's amazing with them. As the Adepts, they do shade in, but they get surrounded as well. They're going to get a couple of drones for their troubles. 4 workers for 2 Adepts. Can we get 5? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's good, because both of the Adepts did go down, so there will be no more chances for Cristiano to attack for the time being. At the same time, the Zerglings are moving across the map, and they do spot the Oracle as well.
Yeah, because these Adepts went down, that means that a laser, he can delay the third. There's very little at home to defend. We have to warp in an extra wave of Adepts. We're even forcing a shield battery and a full wall off. Meanwhile, the Oracle gets across the map, but there are Queens in position. The Oracle even sustains some hull damage, and Cristiano is going to be stuck on 2 bases. He even delays his third as he throws down quite a lot of tech.
Yeah, we do see that Robo. We have Twilight Council on the way as well, and we'll probably get some Immortals. It doesn't look like we're going for any more Stargate units, so just focusing on that ground army now.
Yeah, this is a really rough position here for Cristiano. He's stuck on 2 bases. I don't think he wants to go for a 2-base all-in. I feel like he still wants to take a third, but it is so heavily delayed. And as you mentioned, he only has the 1 Oracle, so he doesn't actually have that much potential to get economic damage done.
Yeah, he's working on the War Priest now. I'm wondering if maybe he wants to go for some Adept or Zealot War Prints across the map, but for now he just has to defend his position. He has to deal with the Zerglings if he ever wants to expand, and in the meantime he's just focusing on the tech.
Yeah, again, this is all because he lost 2 Adepts. Like, because those 2 Adepts went down, it means that we have such a delayed third here from Cristiano. He's going to be harassing and doing some damage across the map, or at least he's going to try to, but for the most part, he still needs to get this third base up and running. The Templar Archives is about to finish, so this is going to be an Archon drop here with some High Templar.
Okay, I see it. And with that, Elazar is actually going for the Roach Warren, so he should have Roaches ready for when the Archons show up. He has quite a few Queens as well, so even that Oracle looming about won't be really a threat. And I'm not sure how this will go, although Cristiano is looking for a nice position here.
Yeah, I mean, Archons can trade very well, and they already ship away at one of those Queens. As long as we keep the War Prism alive, this should be okay. As a laser, he is going to be threatening that Prism. So far, trading with the Archons, keeping the army busy here, while Cristiano does establish this third base. He's starting up Immortal production again. This is all very similar to what we saw last week. We're getting there in a different way, and again, Cristiano, he's kind of limping along as he's still trying to get his third base up and running, but overall, the game plan seems to be very similar.
Yeah, at the same time he is diving that Oracle in the third base, and it looks like he did get a few more drones. Not too many, but it's always a bit of damage for him.
Yeah, he got 1 drone. He's going to delay the 4th base as well, which is nice. You know, containing a laser to 3 bases, it is something. Behind this, we do have that charge on the way. So again, he's just building up this death ball of an army. Cristiano basically just walling up and taking a defensive position back at home. He's harassing with the Archon, but really that's all he's being active with, as he's just trying to, again, still recover.
Yeah, working on charge now, working on those Immortals, and we'll see what the game plan is here. And at the same time, Elazar going now for his lair, going for the upgrades for the Roaches, so it looks like we will be staying on the tech for a little bit longer, as he is establishing the 4th base.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a Roach Ravager base composition. It's going to be Link Bane Roach Ravager, which is quite a solid mid-game army here. For a laser, it can deal with almost anything ground-related. We have an Infestation Bit on the way, so a laser is going to be thinking about taking up further into a Hive, into potentially Lurker play. Can work very well with that +1 range upgrade. Yeah, a laser is sitting pretty, actually, almost droning up past 80 at this point.
Yeah, even transfusing some of those drones as well, so they are safe and sound. The Oracle sniped only 1 of them, and yeah, look at the creep. The creep is slowly coming towards Cristiano. It's not halfway across the map quite yet, but Elazar is doing quite a good job on it.
Yeah, exactly. He's even joining up further. I don't think that's necessary, but we have 7 more workers on the way, getting past 80 up to the 90 worker count. And you can see that Cristiano, he's just fortified here on his 3 bases. He's now trying to take a 4th. As he attempts to, though, here comes the laser looking for a cancel.
Yeah, and cancel he will get, even getting the probe as well, and he did not get caught in the stasis, so very nice careful play there from Elazar, and yeah, he will keep Cristiano on these 3 bases for a little bit longer, but he has to be careful about this army.
Yeah, again, Cristiano, he's just, as we mentioned before, building up this death ball of an army. It's exactly how he was playing last time, just building up Archons, Immortals, Charge Lots, with Storm as well, and eventually he will push out. A laser, of course, is max, and he wants Cristiano to push into him, and Cristiano shouldn't, not yet, not until he's able to build up his army a little bit further.
I find it very interesting that as Elazar was cancelling the base of Cristiano, he actually double expanded on his own side of the map, and he is expanding in both ways as well.
Yeah, he's double expanding. I mean, he has full control of his side of the map at this point. He's on 84 workers. He's taking up into a hive like a laser. He can do whatever he wants, essentially. And it's going to be one big attack from Cristiano. It's going to be one essentially all-in move. And he still can't quite go for it. That's the problem here. Like a laser, he has so much freedom to take up into whatever he wants. He should be going into lurkers. He could even go into a spire and a greater spire if he really wanted to. The world is kind of a laser's oyster at this point.
Looks like for the time being he's quite content with the army he has right now, just getting upgrades for his Zerglings, and the Zealots are a bit of a nuisance and he actually has to bring most of his army home, but other than that, they're not doing all that much damage.
Yeah, they're getting a couple of drones here and there, which is nice. They're keeping a laser busy and keeping him pinned back at home. Meanwhile, the Dropper Lords are upon us. We have Bailings into the 4th base, Bailings into the main as well, and Cristiano, can he react in time?
The Overlord dodged the Void Ray. There was actually a Void Ray waiting for it, but even then the Stalkers were there, but not in the 4th base.
Yeah, exactly. So one Overlord gets shut down. We do manage to drop into one of those bases. At the same time, a Bailing run by towards the 3rd. And the laser, he can just keep making more Bailings, more Lings, and probes are going down. Oh,
yeah, not a lot of them, as that SimCity definitely helped, but there is more Banelings where it came from, and they're rolling straight towards Cristiano.
Yeah, again, a laser, he can just keep remaxing. He has a bank to work with. Again, he has a solid economy. That's why he can afford to do this. And Cristiano is still just trying to weather that storm as Bailings roll in once again towards the 3rd. They could even go for the Nexus.
And they will damage that Nexus pretty well, actually destroying it completely together with the mineral line. 29 probes gone in total. 30!
Yeah, as we do eviscerate the mineral line here in the 4th base as well. And this should force the counterattack. At this point, Cristiano, he has a pretty comparable army, has a lot of storms. This could end the game, but this also has to end the game for Cristiano. He has no economy. He is all in.
Yeah, both of the front bases were completely demolished by Elazar there, and his army, again, it's a little bit squishy. I mean, Zerg always is, but if he can get a good position, this may be very tricky for Cristiano to deal with, and the Bailings are rolling down.
Bailings! Oh, the High Templar are so exposed. Storms will connect, and so many of the High Templar go down. We had 7, we're down to 1 High Templar left, and it does not have enough energy for a storm.
Yeah, it's hiding between all of those Immortals, but again, without the storms, it's not all that useful. The force fields are nice, but still, there's a lot of Zerg units here.
There are. We do see the Roach army clashing with the Immortals. A lot of Archons are going down. The Immortals are looking exposed. We're reinforcing with Lings, and we're getting on top of the Immortals.
Yeah, the Zerglings are running straight through the Protoss army. That one Void Ray is trying to help, but it cannot help, and Elazar will be taking game number 1.
GG, well played. Again, Cristiano, he had a really rough start. Again, his 3rd base was so heavily delayed, and from that moment, he was behind in the economy, was just slowly catching up with his 3rd, with his 4th base. By the time he did, a laser was already maxed out on his side of the map with over 80 workers and over, 5-6 bases.
Yeah, Elazar was expanding like crazy in that game. I mean, he was allowed to do so. And it's funny because it really did snowball from those 2 adepts at the beginning, where like pretty much Cristiano like gave the map away to the Elazar, where like he could just, you know, travel around without being bothered, and he took it.
Yeah, I mean, the early game here in PvZ is like really on a knife's edge. You have to be very careful with your first couple of units, especially if you only make one Oracle. That's another big thing, right? Because there wasn't a second Oracle or a third Oracle, there was no way to deal with Lings, which meant there was no way to actually get the third base. So again, Cristiano, he was just stuck on 2 bases for far too long, and yeah, it's something, or it's a deficit that he couldn't quite overcome. Towards the end, again, he had a pretty terrifying army, but unfortunately, he was just all in. You know, there was no turning back. There was nothing else there.
Yeah, it was a good army. Like the army itself was pretty solid, but you know, you need a perfect, like absolutely perfect engagement with that to even be able to, like, you know, get something done, and then with no probes to come back to, like that had to end the game, and unfortunately, it didn't.
Exactly, and now we're looking to try to fight back here as game number 2 is going to be taking place on hard lead between these 2 players.
Indeed.
Here we go, and again, this is of course one of the maps that is known for its aggressive plays, has a very short rush distance by ground, so you can actually be a lot more assertive here on this map. This goes for both players. We've seen a lot of queen walks across the map and like roach based all-ins. Likewise, we've seen a lot of Twilight Council openers as well on hard lead, so yeah, this could benefit either player if they do decide to be more aggressive.
That's fine if they find out if they are, as we are now loaded into hard lead indeed, and we are looking at the first of our players, the Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Elazar.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer down in this series, looking to fight back. It is Cristiano. We go, and so far we do see Elazar able to take his natural base. Cristiano a little bit late to the party when it comes to that pylon block, so yeah, a natural here from Elazar.
And the hatch first too.
Yeah,
very nice, very nice. Also keeping that overlord in the natural. For those who don't know, those are very useful for cannon rush positions.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Cristiano is one to cannon rush, but you know, we just want to make sure that we're secure and safe. Hatch gas pool, standard opener here from Elazar, and again, because of this natural base being taken, it does mean that if Cristiano were to go for something like a Twilight Council opener, Elazar is going to have a solid setup here to defend against Glaive Adepts.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh. The drones got a bit anxious. They saw the probe, and they were like, nope.
Yep. Got a little bit scared, which is understandable. Probes are terrifying.
I mean, they can tase you.
They can.
It's pretty scary.
So a bit of a misstep there from Malaysia. Not the biggest of deals, but hopefully he can just shake off those nerves as he's getting here into the game number 2. Again, Elazar, he just needs one more here to take the series to advance on to the grand finals. Or no mas.
Yeah, it did, and it looks like he will be going just for a regular game, just macroing up, you know, getting his queens ready. And so is Cristiano. Nothing out of ordinary coming from both of our players. Just, you know, making sure that their economy is checked, and we'll see who decides to be aggressive first.
Yeah, we have our tech of choice, and there it is. I was looking at this pylon because this pylon was thrown down pretty far back here for a hidden tech structure, and it is going to be a Twilight Council opener.
Yeah, so we're not going for a Stargate this time. No oracles on the way. We are going straight for the Twilight Council, and we'll see what comes with it. If it's just gonna be, you know, Adepts, if it's gonna be Blink, if it's gonna be DTs.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, so again, Twilight Council makes a little sense on hard lead because of the short rush system by ground, so you can be very aggressive. You can be very aggressive on this map. Likewise, because Elazar got his natural base instead of the unnatural natural, he already has creep kind of moving on out. It also means that he can start working on that wall. He can actually create a full wall off to try and deny any kind of shades coming into the natural as well. So he has a bit of a better setup defensively, but we're still to see how Cristiano pieces this all together.
Yeah, that we see, but he has to be careful because Elazar's Overlord is above his natural, and it will try to approach his main as well, and with the Adepts all present, there's nothing to stop him.
Yeah, and it is going to be some glaives coming out. We have pulled out of gases. Oh my god, we're going to be doubling down a little bit harder here with additional gateways. That is
A
going
lot
to
of
be a
gateways.
2-base all-in. Yeah, this is going to be a 2-base all-in. We do pull back in. So your standard variation of glaive adepts is 4-gate. This is 6-gate.
Yeah, 6 gates. So
Game paused.
Oh.
Kusa is like, hold on, how many gates did I make?
Hi. So yeah, we're gonna be getting a bit of a pause here. It looks like the food, the Uber Eats has arrived for Cristiano, so he's just answering his door. He's getting his
Definitely.
night pizza.
Oh, night. No, it's too early for night pizza. They're not open yet.
He's getting afternoon pizza.
Oh, true. For those who don't know, the great invention that is night pizza. It's a pizza delivery place that works from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m.
It's beautiful. It's like the degen pizza place.
Yes.
Imagine
It's
Imagine
literally
everyone.
Tijan pizza.
if you had a local pizzeria that was open from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Like that's peak degen. That's beautiful.
That's the whole idea behind it. It's literally
They
Tijan
know.
pizza.
They know their audience. It's beautiful. It's everyone needs one.
It's pretty good too. Like it's not a bad pizza.
Yeah, we are going to be doubling down. We do get back into this again. Looks like the pizza has arrived. It's settled on in, and again, this is much more aggressive than we're used to here. 6-8 glaive adepts. We're just doubling down here on this all or nothing for Cristiano. Essentially an all-in, and a laser back at home is none the wiser. He's not fully aware of what's going on. Should be soon checking with his overlord, and hopefully he doesn't drone up too much. Otherwise, he could be caught off guard.
Yeah, the good news is he is working on the Troch Warrant, and he has a few of the some of the links as well on the way. And with the creep spread that he was able to achieve, he should be able to see the moves of Cristiano. But yeah, we'll see if he's quite ready. He does spot the adepts with his links.
Yeah, Adepts have been spotted. A laser back at home is going to be getting ready for them. We have some safety spore crawlers on the way because for all he knows, it could be 4-gate glaive adept with DTs as well. So he's getting ready for that scenario. Meanwhile, the Adepts are amassing here outside the bases. And again, our goal is just to not just commit to economic damage, but to kill a laser here and now.
Yeah, and he will try to do so as he's moving in. The queens are there and ready, but they have to play around with the shades, and the dance begins.
Dance does begin. For now, the Adepts are going to be forced back, but we are amassing wave after wave of Adepts. Oh, Cristiano is supply blocked, though. We do have additional pylons on the way, but this is not the time to be supply blocked.
Yeah, when you see all the pylons hugging each other in the main base, you know that the supply block is real. And ooh, the Adepts are actually shade right into the Zerglings.
Yeah, that's a lot of Adepts. We do get a decent surround here on the Adepts themselves, but the Lings are being annihilated. We do break through. We're getting into the mineral line.
Yeah, so destroying the mineral line in the middle. Ooh, the Warpies does go down though, so there will be no reinforcements here. And the Adepts, I mean, they do damage, but is it enough?
Yeah, the Prism goes down. That's going to be the end of the aggression. Adepts, they shade into the natural base, but there are Lings to surround, and a laser's completely shutting this down. We're rebuilding the War Prism, but it may just be too little too late. 6 workers have fallen, but a laser, he has for the most part dealt with this.
Yeah, he has killed most of the Adepts by now, and sure, like the main base is not mining, but he was able to escape with quite a few drones away, and actually not that many losses.
Yeah, that was 7 drones dead in total. From here, we can re-drone, and you can see that Cristiano, he's doubling down. Immortal production, he throws down a Dark Shrine as well. Unfortunately, there are already spores in position. There's a spore in the main, there's a spore in the natural and the third base. We have detection. Lair is on the way as well. By the time this Dark Shrine finishes, we should have the Lair for Overseers.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I mean, Elazar is gonna be aggressive now as well, so I don't even know if we're gonna get to the DTs. Maybe some defensive ones have to be warped in. But at the same time, that Warp Priest is going to the main base.
Yeah, but there are Queens in position. The Prism is being zoned away. At the same time, Lings, they go straight for that third. There are some sentries, so we have some force fields potential here for a laser, and he's going to be able to hold on to his third at least.
Yeah, the third seems safe this time, but yeah, the Dwarf is still trying to shark for some damage, but it is being spotted by the creep everywhere it goes, so I don't think he will be able to get anything done for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. He's just trying to threaten a laser, keep him busy. Meanwhile, laser is droning. We have a fourth base on the way. We're going to be threatening another link counterattack again here at this third. And again, you can see the desperation here in Cristiano to go for the Dark Shrine. There's potential for damage, as we're maybe even we thought about the bait for a moment there. I
We
don't know if
thought about it.
you thought about it, not quite going there yet though.
Yeah, not quite going there yet, but the DDs are going to the base of a laser, and we'll see if they will be able to sneak in, because as you said, there is no spore in the main base, and that's exactly where Cristiano is going, but I don't know if this will work out. Let's see.
Yeah, Overseer's done. One DT goes down. The jig is up. We're aware of what's going on, and just like that, Cristiano should be deflected. At the same time, a link counterattack forces out some force fields. Doesn't quite commit, doesn't get any more damage though, but Laser, he's able to maintain control of his bases.
Yeah, that he is. There are still adepts on the map trying to find some damage, but even the queens are chasing them away. In other places, the Zerglings are trapping them, and it doesn't look like Cristiano is able to get any damage, but oh, this single DT does sneak in.
Yeah, and there's no Spore here in position. We have Overlord speed on the way. Numerous has Carapace to help deal with the movement here of the detection, and it was a nice bit of damage. You know, lost mine time, at least in the main. It is something, and back at home, Cristiano, he is building up his Colossus count.
Yeah, but at the same time, I look at the minimap, and there are so many Zerglings going towards Cristiano, slowly but surely, and I mean, Colossus will be nice, but they're not here.
They are not here, and against Lings, Immortals are not what you want. We dive on the army, Overcharge is popped. Is this the best fight here for a Laser? He's committing.
He is committing. The Ravagers are supporting the Zerglings, and they are chewing through the Immortals. Some of them are saved, but a lot of them are low on health, and the Ravagers may be able to finish them off.
Yeah, exactly. One Immortal goes down. Two Immortals are remaining. The entire ground army of Cristiano is crumbling here before a Laser, and it looks like he is going to be able to break through. He's running out of Lings, though, so he's going to have to respect this army. He's going to have to back off, but he traded well.
Yeah, the Colossus is now here, but the Ravagers are actually not scared. They're just moving forward. They're trying to see what damage they can do.
Yeah, we have Ling reinforcements. We can push in once again. The juggling here is looking good. We have a second Colossus, and Cristiano will hold.
Yeah, Cristiano will hold, but not without losses. A lot of the Immortals did go down, and yeah, that was definitely quite a costly loss there.
Yeah, the trade was brutal. Two Immortals went down, the prison went down earlier, but we also lost a couple of workers. 7 probes fell, and the Laser's going to be able to remax and rebuild. He's only on 3-base saturation. He hasn't droned up any further, but there we go. Workers are now on the way, and he's getting up to the 80 worker count. Infestation bit as well. He saw the Colossus, and his answer for that is going to be a Hive and eventually Vipers.
Yeah, but before we even get there, we have Dropper Lords on the way, so I don't think we have Baneling Nest this time. No, we do. So we may be having some Baneling drops again.
Yeah, it's possible here, as we are going to be loading up whatever we can. Bathing speed is still on the way, and we can go for some drop play towards the main base. The Laser just cleaning up all these rocks and taking control of the entire map.
Yeah, but a bit distracted by this War Piece, as it will be dealt with eventually, as the Queens and the Ravagers as well are chasing it away.
Yeah, they're going to be kept busy, as we were saying. Meanwhile, we do have our drop play, and it's going to be Roaches. Not Banelings, but Roaches into the main base. And they can get quite a lot done. They can maybe even try to pick up a couple of pylons, maybe deal with some of the tech as well, and just keep Cristiano busy in the main base, and maybe go for one-two punch. Maybe look to deny the fourth.
Not gonna lie, that Overseer looks like a Carbot one. Just giving the report to a laser as the Roaches are moving straight into the main base. The army is not here. The Colossus will now come to join him, but all the production gets unpowered.
Yeah, big Artosis pylon does go down. At the same time, a Laser sending the rest of his army towards that third base. There is an army in position, though. We have one Colossus, we have some Archons, but we push forward anyway, and we do get on top of them. Where's the shield battery?
Yeah, the shield battery is too far, and one of the Colossus is distracted in the main base, so the Roaches will try to see if they can do some damage. Some of the Archons will fall down.
Yeah, the Biles, they take down an Archon. We focus down another. We force a recall into the main as well. As the Dropper Lords have not been dealt with, they just evacuate towards the top left.
Yeah, I like that one Roach that was like, don't leave me here. He just jumped into the Overlord from the cliff.
Has been saved, and Cristiano, he's barely holding on, but a Laser, he's remaxing here. This time, not just with Roach Ravager, but also with Ling Bane, and that's a lot of Banelings.
That is a lot of banelings indeed, and all of those banelings will be rolling into Christianer's bases soon. He is trying to expand in the top right at the same time, but I'm not sure if he will be able to even use that base.
And here we go. We are pushing forward towards that third base.
Ooh,
Once again, the
ooh.
Colossus are in position, but the Banelings, they roll in.
They do roll in, but they do roll in into Colossus Fire, and a lot of them fall down before they can even connect. I'm not sure if a single one connected, maybe two.
Yeah, that was a brutal trade, and Cristiano, he does actually hold on. He's going to be losing an Immortal, and at the same time, we drop into the main base once again, getting more economic damage done. Overall, this was an efficient fight for Cristiano, but the reality is that a laser, he can do that a couple more times. He can remax and do that again.
Yeah, like again, like it was probably a better fight for Cristiano, but as you said, Elazar, look at how many bases he has. Look how far his creep reaches on the map. Like,
Yeah,
he owns this map.
He's encroaching upon the bases here of Cristiano. Big link counter-attack here towards the top right. Denying mining doesn't kill too many workers, but does get on top of the Nexus. Is going to be dragging the army out of position. At the same time, a laser going for the 1-2 punch towards the third base, which is much more exposed.
Yeah, and now the Protoss army has to go up a ramp into the roaches, and with the juggling, a lot of the units will be saved. The Colossus are standing strong, but all of the support is going down.
Yeah, we're going down. We do have the Colossus going down one after the other. GG is going to get called. There's just too much Zerg, and a laser will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals.
GG. Very nicely done by Elazar there, and I mean, really, I feel like both games really, like, Elazar is just snowballing so hard. If you let him have like too much presence on the map, he will just not give it back.
Yeah, and again, a big reason for that is because Cristiano did go for a 2-base all-in. He did go for a 6-gate Glaive build, and it did not do enough damage. It killed 7 drones, and it is designed to kill the opponent. A big reason for that, if you remember, was Cristiano losing his Warp Prism. Really early on, he lost his first Warp Prism, and that just stopped the aggression in its tracks. A laser was able to stabilize and get further ahead, and yeah, GG. Really well done.
Yeah, definitely losing that warp is hurt a lot in that attack, because I mean the adepts were not getting a lot of damage done, but they were still a threat to Elazar, and with like additional warpings they could cause more chaos in the bases, but without the warpings, like, the adepts are on their own.
And they were left on their own. And with that, we have our finals ready for us. It is going to be Spirit versus a Laser. It looks like Vetoes are still underway, and we are going to be going on a short break. We'll be going on a short break. When we return, we will have a TVZ best of 5 finals.
Probably a very short break. Quickly, catch something to do. Ah.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that short break as we have returned with the grand finals of the House Open Cup number 4 finals bi-weekly. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined by Kuro here to help with the translations, help with the cast as well. And I'm getting some flashbacks. This is not the first time that we've casted a laser and spirit in the finals of a Polish tournament.
Oh. Yeah, now I'm having flashbacks. It's like on all of those memes. Yeah. Yeah. Those are some flashbacks, alright. But anyway, we are in the finals of the Polish biweekly tournament, the H.4.0.S Open Cup. And we are on Alkione. Yes, I'm still reading that map like that. And we are looking at the first of our players in the top right corner. It is the red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It's a laser.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player, the best Terran in all of Poland, representing Storm Gaming. It is Spirit. And as we get ready for this, a big shout out to Rowbags in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 6 months, half a year. Thank you for half a year of support. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Also, since we're getting shoutouts, I would also like to shout out Danskik, who's the organizer of this event, and I hope that's how you read his name, because honestly I have no idea. Also Kashim, who's the admin of the event and making sure that the players are where they're supposed to be. As well as Indy, who's the Polish caster.
True. Indy, the turkey.
Yes, the turkey. Why?
Yeah.
Look. I mean, I kind of know why, but I also don't. Because if you remember, the clan of Indy was Indy K.
Yeah, Indy K.
And if you read it if you read it as a word, so Indyk, it actually means turkey in Polish. But yeah, how did the K end up there? I do not know.
Look, birds. We do flock together, okay? We do support each other, and yeah, much love to Indy, of course, covering the event over in Polish, as we're here getting into the finals. And I should also, refer to what we were just talking about as well. When it comes to this being a rematch, these two did face off in the previous LAN, the previous SE2 circuit in the House Gaming Bar, and they actually faced off twice. It was a double elimination bracket. They faced off in the upper bracket finals and the grand finals, and Spirit was looking dominant here. And oh my god, once again, he does delay the third base. He gets a kill on the drone.
Yeah, indeed he does. And also, a quick note, I might have forgotten about Logos mod this entire stream. Don't worry about it.
Lovely, as we do delay the third base, which is a pretty big deal, to be honest. A laser, he does kick things off here with a bit of a deficit. Spirit back at home is going for a Rax expand into a third CC, a very economic opener for my Terran player.
Yeah, he did. And let's see how it goes versus Elazar, because again, Elazar is a pretty macro-easy, to put it that way. I mean, we saw him dominate the match previously versus Cristiane, where he just snowballs. If you let him get there, he just snowballs with his army. But Spirit is also one that likes to macro, so it sure may be interesting to see how those two collide.
Yeah, they're two macro gods in their own right, in their own respective races. And again, typically, historically, Spirit is coming out as the stronger player, but a laser is no slouch. And especially in current era, in the current form of a laser, like he's been putting in a lot of work. We just wrapped up with ESL Masters Europe, and we have DreamHack Atlanta on the horizon as well. So both players are very much so in form. I'm very excited to see if a laser can get his revenge from what Spirit did to him a couple of months ago. Again, in that lane.
Yeah, when Light says did to him, we actually mean like emotional damage, because
oh yeah, he broke the brain.
He did because the finals of that event were truly beautiful, but also really sad, as Elazar's brain was just completely broken by the end of it.
Yeah, it felt like his spirit was broken, like his morale had been crushed. Yeah.
Ah.
It was an impressive performance from Spirit. It was very impressive. And I should also point out that this is an aggressive opener. It is a 3cc 1-1-1, so economic start, yes, but we're following this up with an armory. It's a Hellbat push.
Yeah, indeed, and the first batch is already moving across the map, and Spirit also has the Xelnaga tower, so he's able to see if there's anything coming from the side of Elazar, and there isn't so far. There are just these few links scouting.
Yeah, they do manage to get into the mineral line. SCVs are going to be going down. A big disruption here to the economy of Spirit. At the same time, is focusing on his push. And what do we have at home to defend? How many queens do we have? We have 7 queens, some lings. Roach Warren is still on the way. No banelings. It's going to be a tight hold here, but based on queen positioning here, we can defend.
Yeah, that's pretty nice position from those queens. All of them are able to fire on these Hellbats, and they are forced to move back.
Yeah, the concave is too good. Spirit is being forced back. Now, what's important is that this was an economic opener, so Spirit, he's not all in by any means. He does back off, and he doesn't have to commit.
Yeah, at the same time, Elazar is still trying to do what he can with these Zerglings. There are Helions there to help out, but he will be able to cause some disruption in the natural.
Yeah, he gets 2 SCVs. He can maybe barely get a 3rd SCV as well before being cleaned up. At the same time, Liberator has arrived, and we do some counter damage. 4 drones go down.
Yeah, a lot of workers have been falling so far. No, catastrophical damage, but a few workers here, a few workers there, and slowly it will add over time.
Yeah, now we're going to be reinforcing, pushing up the ramp once again. Some of the queens have been distracted. Now we can just push on into the 3rd.
Yeah, some of the queens were dealing with that Liberator. At the same time, the Hellbats are now walking into the 3rd base, and already one of the queens is falling down. The rest of them are starting to be low on energy.
Yeah, we have a couple of Hellbats busting into the mineral line. 4 drones go down as well. It looks like Spirit is going to be cleaned up. But oh my god, the drones, they stack up!
Yeah, the drones come too close to the fire, and a lot of them will be falling down. In total, we have 9 drones going down, but that's quite solid damage there for Spirit.
Yeah, and just like that, Spirit, he's ahead. He's ahead economically. We have an even worker count, bearing in mind that we have mules for Spirit as well. And initially, that was a good defense from Malaysia, but again, he did stack his drones here on the edge of his mineral patch, and he did take a lot of hits to the face from those Hellbats. And a laser, how do we come back from this? We're taking the gold. Well, I mean, technically, double expanding.
Yeah, again, Elazar really likes to expanding all over the map. I mean, he just takes over the map. He just claims it as his. Also, I just want to say that it's very funny when I saw this orbital being scared of a single Zergling and just going back to the natural to get the marine.
It's scary.
Yeah, but it's just slow, like please help me. There's a single Zergling.
Did delay the 3rd base, and when it comes to the double expand, again, I do think this is very necessary. The 4th base is very delayed. It's very late. I mentioned before that Laser, he has fallen behind in the economy as well, so double expanding is going to be quite necessary here to catch himself back up. As Spirit, he's taking a 4th base, as a Laser is still on 3 bases, now taking a 6th base even, so a Laser just trying to mass expand here to recover.
Yeah, and we have the Baneling Nest on the way. We had the Infestation Pit as well, so Elazar just trying, to get the tech going, get the economy going, and I mean, Spirit is kind of letting him. Like, we had the Liberator on the beginning, and we had the Hellbats, but for the time being, like, he's just letting Elazar catch up, essentially.
Yeah, Laser is able to get these bases up and running. We do have some Liberator harass, and here comes some more drop play from Spirit. So now he's going to be ramping things up at 6 workers going down. We have another Liberator here at the 3rd base. 8 drones even falling.
Yeah, that was the distraction that the Spirit needed. At the same time, he is moving to the front. There are some queens to face him, but he is getting at least some distracting done.
Yeah, he gets a couple of tumors. We did see 2 SCVs going down at the 4th base. That has been spotted, so a Laser, he's aware of the 4th base location. He sees the planetary morphing in as well. And interesting, he is going for a Roach Ravager base composition. It's going to be Roach Ravager, Ling Bane into a Hive. It is quite gas intensive here, but the Ravagers, they will help with tanks specifically. Tanks and Libs, as they will have those biles available.
Yeah, definitely, and that is something that is coming from Spirit. But before that, we have some drops coming as well. And we'll see if they can get something done. It looks like Spirit wants to deny this gold base, but it is already pretty well set up.
Yeah, we managed to focus on some of the creep tumors, but for the most part, there is an army in position. At least Spirit does, or is now aware. He's confirmed the location of this hatchery, and now he can focus his attention on focusing down that gold, as Bailing Speed is on the way 2-2 as well. And what's important is that Spirit, he's only harassing with some drop play. He's just building up his army back at home.
Yeah. This drop will eventually be cleaned up, but it is keeping Elazar a little bit back, a little bit, you know, on his side of the map. But now it's time to move out. It's time to see what damage he can do against Spirit, and Spirit is ready to face him.
Yeah, exactly. The rocks are being knocked down. Spirit being caught a little bit out of position here. Does need a siege up. Actually catches a lot of those lings. Where are the Bailings?
Yeah, the Banelings are not being made. It's just Zerglings, and it is just Bio, but Marines are pretty good.
Yeah, they trade so well against Lings. The Bailings are now going to be morphed in again. They're just a little bit too little too late. So Spirit having a very efficient trade to begin with, but he can't gain any more ground. A laser is going to be able to back off and enjoy, or able to back off and breathe for a moment here with the safety of those Bailings.
Yeah, but he also has to be careful to not go too far forward, as these tanks will definitely help Spirit with his defense. So it looks like both players have quite a good position set up on their sides, but it's once one of them ventures out, it's gonna be very dangerous.
Yeah, it really is. As a laser, he's amassing his army. He has maxed out. The Bailings are rolling on forward. One tank will go down just barely with those biles. And Spirit, he's going to be diverting his attention towards that goal base, going for a drop.
Yeah, he's going for the drop, and he will force Elazar to split attention of those Zerglings, and they will be able to clean up the drop, but that also means that some of the units did run into the tanks.
Yeah, and it looks like a laser. He knows he cannot hold on to this base. It is going to be evacuated. Has a decent army. Vipers have arrived. They're full of energy.
Yeah, that they are, and maybe they will be able to pull some of the tanks, maybe throw some parasitic bombs, but it looks like the Marines are zoning them out. One of them is already at half health.
Yeah, we tried to dive on those Vipers, didn't get them in the end. The Bailings, they tried to roll on forward, but again, the tank line here is insane. Spirit, he does hold the line, and the laser, he comes like blinding clouds.
Yeah, and he goes forward. All of the tanks are blinded, and now the Link Bane is able to deal with them. The Bio is trying to hold forward, but there's not enough, and Elazar wins this battle.
Yeah, he cleans up all the tanks, cleans up the Bio army as well. Only a couple of medevacs do survive, and that was an efficient trade here from a laser. Spirit maybe overextending a little bit. Now he's going to be stuck at home. This base is going to be going down. The gold attempted to be taken. We have a good tank line here at the top of the ramp, but we cannot protect this gold.
Yeah, and even some Ravager bias falling on that command center as well, but in the end, Elazar is not able to take down that base. He's just able to cause some nuisance, and he's also distracted by this single medevac.
Yeah, and the medevac is going to go down, so a good trade here from a laser. A good cleanup, I should say, as he shuts it down with that parasitic bomb. Meanwhile, Spirit holds onto the gold, and he is just pushing forward with his tank line, getting to Ghost behind this 3-3 as well. He's walling off, he's turtling up.
Oh no. He's turtling up. Oh no. Flashbacks are coming again.
At the same time, a big Link counterattack there. We have Lings split up towards the natural domain and the third base as well. SCVs are going to be going down.
Yeah, that was a really nice speed from Elazar. At the same time, he is attacking on the front as well. He doesn't quite have enough to defeat the army, but at least he's able to deal with some of the units. But at the same time, all of the SCVs are going down.
Yeah, 37 SCVs. We eviscerate the economy in one swift move. A laser, he distracts the main army, goes for a massive counterattack, and that may just be it. That is 39 SCVs going down, and we still have Lings buried in all the bases.
Yeah, they are hiding. I mean, the scans will be there eventually, but that means that there's more distractions for Spirit as Elazar's army only grows.
Yeah, exactly. Spirit, he was doing so well initially, but now he is stuck back at home recovering. We do have a scan in the main base. Most of the Lings get cleaned up, but we still have Lings buried here at the natural as well. At any moment, they can pop up and they can kill more SCVs.
Yeah, well, at the same time we have the fights on the front. There were some snipes going down. I'm not quite sure what they hit, but yeah, the Army of Spirit does not look as scary as it used to, and the Zerglings are still finding ways to run in.
Yeah, they're finding more value here. More damage is being done. We get into the middle line for a second time. More SCVs are going down. At the same time, though, we do have Liberators wreaking havoc across the map. Damage is being done, but this still pales in comparison to how much losses Spirit has sustained.
I like those Zerglings just burrowed there. Just gonna sit there. you know. At the same time, once again, a laser runs into that gold base, and now with blinding clouds, he's actually able to take it, and it looks like even more civilians will be dying.
Yeah, exactly. We take down the planetary. We force the scan as well. Try to be cheeky, burrowing Bailings in the face of Spirit. A laser, he knows how far ahead he is. He knows how desperate the situation is for his Terran opponent. And it's just an uphill battle for Spirit.
Definitely. The bases keep... Oh my god. The bases keep getting denied, and the Spirit's like territory keeps getting smaller as those link runbys do not stop.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't even need Ling Ramais, not anymore at this point. A laser, he can just go for a big forward push. Ultras are on the way. Vipers are just gathering up their energy back at home. Banelings are in production. 26 Banelings even on the way. We don't have kindness plating, unfortunately. We don't have the best upgrades for those Ultras, but I mean, regardless, we're still in a commanding position.
The Banelings do find the damage eventually, and the Zerglings are here to finish the job. They're not quite able to get too many SCVs, but 6 is still a good number, and another batch of Zerglings just goes straight for the main.
Yeah, the wall is not a wall. We bust into the main base. We wreak havoc once again. 10 SCVs going to be going down. We can burrow in all the bases once again. We even cause the natural base to catch fire here. We shouldn't be getting a kill. We do get the repair, but this is just so much damage being done. And it's just too much.
Yeah, it's too much, and it looks like El Lazer once again is snowballed and takes game number 1.
GG, well played. Does take the first game here. Again, Alkyone is known for its late game play. It's the new Gressvan, essentially, in the new map pool. And we saw Spirit trying to wall off, trying to slow things down, but alas, could not pull it off. And yeah, Laser, he does take it here in a much more longer macro game.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like it's a theme for Lazer that, like, if you let him, like, you know, spread his creep across the map, he's not giving that back. Like, that's his territory now. And if you let him go that far, I mean, he's just gonna snowball.
Yeah, and I mean, Spirit was doing very well for himself. I do think he did overextend with his first push, with his 3 tanks. That was a really brutal moment for him. But outside of that, like, again, he really had a strong early game with his Liberators, with his Hellbat push. Like, he was ahead to begin with. So, yeah, we'll see if he can replicate that success here, as, you know, we still have plenty more games ahead of us. And game 2 is going to be on Side Delta.
Yeah, as a reminder, this is a best of 5 finals, so still quite a few games to go. And I mean, again, last time it was Spirit who won in the finals, so anything can still happen.
Anything can and will happen. And again, these are 2 champions of the House Open Cups. Laser only recently becoming a champion in the last week, of course, against Bappy in the finals. A big reason for that, though, we mentioned at the time, last week or 2 weeks ago, last edition, Spirit wasn't there. Spirit, he wasn't there, so he was gracious. He allowed another champion because he's been winning every other edition of these tournaments. So we'll see if he can be stopped. We'll see if he claims another win. And here we go. We're getting into this, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Side Delta, we have the best Zerg player in all of Poland, representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is a Laser.
And on the other side of the map, we have his opponent, the blue Terran player, representing System Gaming and Poland, of course. It is Spirit.
And we are doubling down here. We are not going for 1 proxy racks. We're not going for 2. We are going for 3. We do have 3 racks on the way here for Spirit. We're doubling down here on the all-in. Very committed, very all-in here from Spirit. And we'll see if a Laser can catch wind of this. We'll see if he does recognize what is going on.
I mean, the Overlords are definitely not going into this direction. And Spirit is also making sure that it's even harder to scout by sending this single SCV farther away.
I love this. I love this hidden 3rd rack. So for those that are curious, if we do come across 2, proxy 2 racks and proxy 3 racks, they have different responses. As a Zerg player, you do have different responses against them. So if a Laser comes across some of this, he may end up going for a bit of a greedier move and get punished for it instead.
He went back. he didn't go all the way. The Overlord stopped on the front, so he will be able to see if there are even any like bunkers going down or anything. But by that point, it may just be too late.
Yeah, so this is typically what you want to go for as a Zerg player. He's parking his Overlord here, which means he will see the push coming. He'll see the bunkers. More importantly, he needs to try to count the SCVs to try to get a read on how committed this is and how many proxies there are.
And his Overlord is about to reach the natural base of Spirit, so he's about to see what is going on, and the units are also moving forward. So let's see how Elazar reacts to this.
Yeah, and I love that Spirit again. He's purposely only showing 2 SCVs. He's keeping his third SCV hidden just to make it look like a proxy 2 racks. Overlord's going to be going down. Bunkers are on the way, and a laser. How's he going to react? He does throw down immediately a Roach Warren in the main.
Yeah, we have the Roach Warren in the main, but the bunkers will be going up, and it looks like nothing is able to deny them for now. So Elazar will have to work with that one base now.
Yeah, Laser, he's going to be giving up his natural, which is the correct call to make. And meanwhile, Spirit, he goes straight for the main base. Again, he's completely all in. He doesn't care about the natural. He wants the main.
Yeah, and he will get some of the drones at least, but the 2 queens should be able to deal with most of those marines before all of the drones die.
Yeah, we do get a big surround here. 6 drones go down, but that is not good enough. We have 5 roaches on the way, and Spirit threw away a lot of his firepower.
Yeah, that he did. The CVs are here, but with only a few marines, like that's not enough to deal the damage. But I mean, it is still like, you know, keeping Elazar at home. But I mean, as you said, this is an all-in. Like Spirit wants to end the game here.
We'll see. He did cripple the economy of a laser, but roaches are on the way. So far, the bunkers are standing strong with transitioning. We have a tech lab in production for Marauders, and so far, Spirit, he is holding on.
Yeah, the bunker is still standing. The SCVs are repairing best they can, even with the Ravagers being present. And it looks like the bunker will eventually go down, but there's still the second one to fall to.
Yeah, we have the second bunker. We're trying to focus on these Ravagers as best we can. The Biles, they will connect with the bunker, and eventually the bunker will fall. A laser, he holds onto his natural. He forces his army back. SCVs are going down as well. Spirit does lose a lot of ground behind this. Marauders are banking up, but I don't think he has enough.
Yeah, he does not have enough, and the Roaches and Ravagers will try to fight this army. Maybe they shouldn't, but still, there's not a lot of units, and Elazar recognizes this. He just decides to draw.
Yeah, exactly. He is safe here on his 2 bases. He has the high ground, he has queens, he has Ravagers, and Spirits. I mean, he's transitioning back at home, throwing down a factory. It looks like he's going for a CC as well. A bold move here, but for the most part, a laser, I would say at this point, is ahead.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, as you said, like, Spirit was not planning for a longer game here, so now he kind of has, you know, to catch up in that economy, essentially, and they may be equal on workers, so that is important to point out, but Spirit definitely was hoping on a different outcome.
I mean, he had to kill at least a natural base. Like, he was...
Yeah.
This was designed to kill his opponent, and he didn't. We do have the Marauders being focused on. We do have Concussive Shell. We're trading well. Good target firing on one of those Ravagers. He's going to get the second.
Oh, almost. Yeah, it looks like in the end Elazar is able to fend off this attack, and all of the bio units are going down, so this is definitely the end of this aggression.
Yeah, and this is why this is scary, because the production is right here on the front lines. Good target firing on the Ravagers. Looks like maybe one Ravager may just barely go down. No, it barely escapes here, and Spirit is being shut down, and as soon as this production goes down, he has almost nothing back at home.
Yeah, and it looks like the pure Ravager army is going now across the map to deal with whatever Spirit has at home. And what does he have at home? There's not a lot. The Banshee is on the way together with Cloak, but it's still a while away, so the Ravagers may be able to cause some damage here.
Yeah, and a laser, he actually decides to pull back home instead. We have a lair in production instead. It looks like he is going to allow Spirit to actually get back into this in a way. The Raxes are floating back home. Now, Spirit, he's still in a really rough position, and he's banking a lot on these Banshees. We'll see what they can get done, as back at home, spores are on the way.
Yeah, spores are on the way. I mean, one spore is on the way. The natural, importantly, does not have one. There is a lair being made there, but yeah, I mean, if the Cloak Banshee arrives at the wrong moment, like, it may be able to catch some drones at the very least.
Yeah, there is potential. There's potential with these Banshees as the first Banshee has arrived. What's interesting here is that actually Cloak was cancelled. It wasn't researched. So Spirit, he is just going to be investing elsewhere here with Stim, with Liberators instead. A Laser in a commanding position that is just now working on his third base, though. In Spirit, he has a chance here to recover, but he's just staying back at home, keeping his Banshee back at home as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure if, like, I feel like maybe Spirit also is kind of figuring out his plan now, because I did see that he cancelled a few buildings on the way, so maybe he's, like, you know, making up his mind about how he wants to go about this, and it looks like he does want to catch up with this. He's making another CC, he's making more production, and since Elazar doesn't seem to be attacking, he may as well just try to build up his army.
Yeah, we have a third CC on the way, as you were saying. So Spirit, he's trying to catch back up economically. I love what a Laser's doing. With his tech advantage, we have a Spire on the way. Mutas could completely catch Spirit off guard. They can be a really secure way to just get out of hand and get out of control. This Liberator is poised to go into the natural. Very important. We'll see if the Liberator does scout the Spire, and then Spirit can prepare back at home.
Yeah, we'll see indeed. But for now, the Liberator is still waiting for the best opportunity, for the best moment. And yeah, that gives Elazar some time to breathe, some time to drone up, to saturate this third base that he gets on the front. And yeah, we'll see how they want to go about this.
Yeah, the Spire is done. So far, not scattered. Mutas are going to be on the way. We have enough for 7 mutas, soon to be 8 mutas in production here for a Laser. This is enough to one-shot SCVs. And again, we're just not ready for this. We have Marines, we have Stim at least, so we can try to keep up and try to go for a head-to-head fight. We scan the main! That's not where the tech happens to be.
Yeah, the Spire is out of vision. And we do have some Marines. We have the NG base as well, so he is able to make turrets, but he doesn't know that he has to.
Oh. Now he does. Now the army has been spotted. We should be seeing some, there we go, turrets immediately being thrown down here in the main base, at the natural as well, and at the third. Marines are pushing on forward. The jig is up, but can we still get damage done as the mutas, they do head towards the natural?
Yeah, they will be trying to find some damage, and they do deny the turret for the time being, but another SCV does finish it, and it doesn't look like they can get that much done.
Yeah, 4 SCVs, we keep the army at home. We shut down the Banshee as well, and thankfully for a Laser, he only made 8 mutas. He is transitioning out of this, going to be working on the rest of his army. Lings, Bailings on the way. Liberator sieges up in the main. We have a Queen in position. Oh.
Yeah, the Queen was a bit too much in the position, but it does survive, and at the same time the mutas try to dive in once again, but they are not getting any damage done. They're at least trying to supply block Spirit, but even that is not being successful.
Yeah, the depot does barely survive. It's gonna burn down, unfortunately. There's no repair. No.
I've seen the chat.
Depot will fall. We can maybe get a couple more SCVs in the main base, but for the most part, Laser just trying to contain his opponent here. 2 bases. Spirit, he would have loved to have gone for drop play, but he can't. He's stuck at home.
Yeah, so basically those mutas are just keeping Spirit at home, keeping his attention on the defense, and it gives Elazar more time to build up his army, more time to tech up, as he's getting all these upgrades at the same time. He's getting his roaches, he's getting his banelings, and getting ready for whatever Spirit has got for him.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a lot of potential. Like, Spirit's army is more efficient. It is straight up more cost efficient than that of a Laser, so he could take a fight and try to snowball out of control. But we'll see if he can pull that off. For now, a Laser just going to be taking another base, taking more expansions, joining up towards 80, spreading his creep, really securing himself, and yeah, looking amazing. Oh my god, do we get a tank? Oh,
almost. It was very close, but not quite, not quite.
Up.
The mutas! They run straight into the rest of the army, now it's just the muta!
There's one muta left here. Big catch from Spirit. Very efficient trade here, killing 7 mutas. The 8th muta survived, and that was 7 mutas for what, like, how many SCVs? Like 6 SCVs?
Yeah, maybe.
Wasn't too much. Yeah, 6 SCVs and a depot, and here we go. Spirit, he is pushing across the map. At the same time, we have a counterattack.
Oh, the armies actually completely miss each other, and it looks like Spirit decides to move back, as, I mean, Elazar would just be rolling through all of these SCVs, but what about the army?
Yeah, the Bailings are spent on the SCVs, unfortunately, which means we can dive on forward. We dodge the ball. The dodges! Oh my god!
Nice split from Spirit there. I mean, he can split from the Banelings, so why not the Biles as well? And Lazar actually has to go back home. This army is being defended.
Yeah, Laser, he does have a couple of Banelings here on top of the ramp, though, and he is waiting for Spirit to push up said ramp. How many tanks? We have 4 tanks with this army. A decent spread of Marines. A Laser getting ready to come in from behind.
Yeah, that he is, and he's collapsing on the army of Spirit, but can he do the damage? Can he deal with the tanks? They're actually on the front, so the Zerglings have to go through them first, and it looks like he can clear this up.
Yeah, the Lings deal with the tanks. We have the Ravagers to deal with everything else, and we're forced to pick up. We do save most of the Marines, but only Marines as we're going for some drop plays. Spirit going to try and pull apart the attention of a Laser.
Yeah, and there's a lot of drops incoming. One in the main, that's the leftovers of the main attack, the other one on the third base, and the Zerglings are trying to defend here, but they're not quite good enough to deal with the Marines.
Yeah, these 2-2 Marines are just chewing through these things. We need more support. We need a Bailing, and we do have one Bailing in position. We forced to pick up as well at the same time. A big Ling counterattack. Third base is exposed. SCVs are going down, and things are going from bad to worse here for Spirit.
Yeah, once again, Lazar trying these Ling run bys, and they are doing a lot of damage, even getting into the natural as well.
Yeah, he busts into the natural base. At the same time, we are going to be committing across the map. Lings are going down, but we have more Bailings rolling on in, and this is the last army of Spirit. He has nothing left.
Yeah, the Marines are running away out of the creep, but yeah, there's only so much he can do here as his economy is once again going completely down. The Zerglings are just dancing in all of his bases, and he's yeah, GG. Lazar has done it. He's taken game 2.
GG, well played. A Laser, he does shut down the initial proxy 3 racks, winding it back. Remember, Spirit was all in, which is why he fell behind. He was all in with a proxy 3 racks, and he was maybe a little bit too adventurous with it. If you remember, he dove into the main base. He got surrounded once his Marines got dealt with. A Laser didn't have much left to worry about as he was able to break through, shut down the proxy, and yeah, snowball out of control from there.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like once again, just like in last games, like the Link run by, like really like, you know, make sure that the game is closed in Lazar's favor.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, like the surround on the main army was just really nice to see. I am as Zerg, yes. Yeah, with that, Lazar will be taking this 2-0, and this is not the end of the series, as this is a best of 5, and Spirit still has a chance to take it.
Yeah, he does have a chance here. Spirit, he has come back from worse positions before. We'll see if he can do it again. I mean, he's up against the wall, though. One more loss, and a Laser will be this week's champion. It all comes down to game number 3 to see if we get a more back and forth here. And again, this is also why I was really excited about this, because again, a Laser, he's very much so in form leading into ESL Masters Europe and into DreamHack Atlanta as well. A Laser, he's in much stronger form compared to when they last faced.
Definitely. I wonder how that will relate to Atlanta actually. Like, I wonder how both of them will do at that event. Because I assume they will be there.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll both be there. I think based on standings, they should get there, or I'm sure they're going to fly there even instead. I'm pretty sure Spirit, yeah, he was playing through the open bracket, if I remember correctly, last season. So
maybe.
We casted him in the open bracket, so
okay.
I'm assuming.
No,
so.
I was at the event, so I don't remember who was from the open bracket and who was from the invites. I know he was there.
No, for DreamHack Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, for Atlanta, okay.
Yeah. And here we go. We're now getting into game number 3. Going to be on hard lead.
Indeed. And we are now on side map, and we are looking at the first of our players. Already up 2-0 in this best of 5. It is none other than the Polish Zerg representing Team Liquid in the red. It is Lazar. Or a Laser, depending.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player representing Psystorm Gaming. Down in this series, he needs to fight back here and now. It is Spirit. Here we go. We are settling into this once again. A laser going for a hatch gas spool. Standard opener as we've always seen. Spirit not going for a CC first. And his Rax is back at home.
No proxies this time. I mean, it didn't really work last game, so I guess Spirit is back to the regular stuff. And I mean, the first game was it, right? Where he went for that Hellbat push, and I mean, it did some damage, so you know, he can definitely figure out some nice way of attacking that probably can take him a game eventually.
Yeah, I'm really curious because we have seen a lot of aggression from Spirit in the past, especially against a laser. Like, I know that he's known for being a more economic player, but yeah, he can spice it up, and he already is.
Do you think this is specific just against the laser? He just sees his name. It's just no. I have to rush him.
Maybe. I mean, we've seen both beat a laser. That's the thing. Like, if you remember during the previous SC2 circuit event, we saw Spirit being very aggressive and also look dominant in the late game as well. But we haven't really seen him in the late game yet here, and I don't know if that's what we're going to be getting. So already, Spirit popping off. He skipped his Reaper. He went Reactor first instead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because Lazar's not one to cheese too much, so it's not that dangerous to really skip Reaper against him, and it doesn't look like he's doing anything fishy.
Yeah, exactly. So a really greedy move here from Spirit. With this opener, he's going to be able to hunt down this Overlord and keep his opponent in the dark. Going Marine first. As you mentioned, because there's no Reaper, it means that Spirit cannot scout his opponents, but a laser isn't really one to rush, so there's nothing to scout anyway.
2 Marines on both sides. Run away, Overlord. Run away.
Yeah, it's going to try to escape and try to bamboozle these Marines. We're going to be able to float over towards the other side. Tech Lab already on the way, and this Overlord, actually, it may be able to escape. Up, it's going to be close. Up. It does.
No way.
It lives.
10 health.
Yeah, that was a bit of miscontrol from Spirit. If you saw, he had one Marine moving towards the right-hand side a little bit too quickly, and then he had to come back around. We do have the Lings arriving. Oh, the Tech Lab is under threats.
Yeah, the Zerglings are complete. Actually, the distracted Spirit there, and the Marines were not in position, but it looks like the Tech Lab is safe for now. But I mean, this Marine is going down.
Yeah, Marine does go down. Spirit, he's going for a Ghost Rush. Oh my god.
Okay.
He's crazy.
That's not what I expected this game. Okay, I see it. I see you.
I mean, already, like, we already have a piece of the puzzle. Like, a laser, seeing this Tech Lab this early on is a little bit telling, especially considering that this is not a position to go for an add-on stop for the starport. So this is very suspect. The Overlord is still alive and is actually in position to dip forward and actually catch wind of what is going on. So we'll see if a laser can piece this together. We'll see if he is caught off guard here by the eventual Hellion Ghost Push. This may even be a Hellbat Ghost Push as well with an armor.
Have you seen this build before? I wonder
Ghost
how.
Rushes is a thing, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean specifically Hellion Ghost composition.
I've died to this before, yeah.
Oh, okay. You saw it that way. Okay.
On the NA ladder, yeah.
I see.
I'm pretty sure Asher's even done this before. It's disgusting. But here we go. The Ghosts are on the way. Steam in production. No armory with this, so it's not going to be Hellbats. Only Hellions here initially, and I believe the Ghost has been spotted. Back at home, Queens are amassing Lings as well. Only Ling Queen, no Roaches, and we'll see if we can deal with this.
It looks like it's just the Hellions going to the front. The Ghost is making sure to avoid the vision of Elazar, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how he's gonna use them. He's gonna snipe the Queens.
Ideally, you do want to snipe the Queens. Roach one gets thrown down. A laser, he has already seen those ghosts. He's aware of them. He's fully aware of their location. And here come the snipes. Ooh.
Yeah, actually doesn't go off, and it looks like all the Queens are safe for now, but here goes the first snipe. The first Queen goes down, and they're out of energy as well. They cannot really transfuse much.
Yeah, 2 Queens go down. We're going for some more good target firing on the Ghosts, denying more of those snipes. Lings, they come in first round. They go straight for the Ghost. One goes down.
Yeah, one goes down. The other one is hidden in between all of the Hellions. He's very low as well, and there is no healing here, but he's still standing.
Yeah, at the same time, looks like there was a Ling counterattack. 12 SVs went down at the natural base. One Ghost did survive, but a laser is in the commanding position. His economy has been untouched, and he was able to cripple the economy of Spirit at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice the Link slipping by, and I guess neither did Spirit, as he did lose a lot of workers, and that definitely puts him quite behind.
Yeah, he has to double down here on his push. He still has 2 ghosts here now in the mix, and he can snipe the queens. Obviously, snipes are very powerful here. That's a lot of Hellions as well. We're pushing through.
Yeah, and 2 queens already falling. Only 3 are left, and with this many Hellions, 3 queens are not that scary anymore.
Oh. Yeah, we get into the middle line. The drones are lining up. 7 workers go down, but we have so many links. Roaches come out just in time. We will clean this up, but not before losing 11 drones.
Yeah, so, I mean, would you call this a good trade for all of this army?
I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing at home. And
Yeah.
right now, we could go straight for the
Yeah.
natural, but the wall, okay, is going to be lifted. We do take control of the third base, force it to be lifted as well. And a laser, he's droning back at home. He's still in a good position. And unfortunately, after losing all those Hellions and Ghosts, we don't have any more of that left. And a laser is pushing in.
Yeah, and the wall may still be standing, but the Roaches will definitely be able to help with that wall there. And Ravagers are now being morphed, and the depots won't stand for long.
Yeah, thankfully, a tank does arrive in time. A depot is going to go down, but the tank should be able to fend this off for the time being. Should scare a laser away, as he is going to be backing off for a moment here. Not actually droning. He's doubling down on Roaches and Ravagers.
That's a bit unusual for Lazar. I would expect him to double expand at this point and, you know, just press the drone key, but it looks like he decides he wants to be aggressive this game.
Yeah, exactly. As he's amassing even more Roaches moving across the map. He knows how vulnerable his opponent is. He also knows how vulnerable this natural is. He doesn't have to push into the main base, but into the natural. This is where all the tech is, the upgrades, a lot of the add-ons, a lot of the production. But as a laser gets ready for the push, you have a single drop even across the map.
Yeah, single drop, and there are some Roaches here to defend, but not too many of them. But there are not that many drones either, so the drop is eventually denied, and Lazar does double expand. That's just his thing.
Yeah, there we go. Now he's going to be taking his 5th and his 6th base as well. He's still only on 3 base saturation, but there we go. Finally, he's droning. He's saturating his bases, getting up to that 80 worker count. He has an insane army as well. The tanks are that much more exposed and now moved out into the open.
Yeah, but there's still tanks, and the Roaches will just go forward. Oh, with the Ravagers, the tanks will slowly be sniped down, and the Bio is able to shoot through most of this army, but not all of it.
Yeah, exactly. As the final tank is going to fall as well. A good trade here for a laser. He gets into the middle line. SCVs are going to be going down. The Bio army does clean up the Roaches, but again, that was still a good trade for a laser, considering that he has an economy to sustain these losses.
Yeah, and once again, I feel like this is a story of most of the games in this tournament where a Lazar is involved. That again, you let him have these bases. You don't deny all of these expansions, and he will slowly, like, you know, get out of hand. He will amass such a big army that you just won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, and that's what should be happening. Just because game after game, Spirit, he's been aggressive. Ooh, forcing some friendly fire even. But Spirit's been aggressive. Even this game, he went for a Ghost Rush. In the last game, went for a Proxy 3 Racks. In the game before that, went for a Hellbat push. We've just been seeing a lot of really aggressive play here from Spirit. And when it fails, you should be falling behind. And the Zerg player should be expanding and taking advantage of you.
Yeah, and Lazar definitely does. As he keeps attacking into this army, he has to be careful about the tanks because they are there. But, I mean, once he gets the critical mass, he will just be rolling into this bio.
Yeah, Baneling Nest is done. Baneling Speed should soon be on the way for a laser as he's working on his upgrades. Some of the creep is going to be receding, but for the most part, a laser he's keeping up, and he should be respreading as much of that creep as he can, as he is thankfully not staying on a mid-tier army here. We have an Infestation Mid on the way for eventually Vipers and, you know, higher form of tech.
Yeah, for now, though, he is destroying all the rocks on the map once again to give himself more areas of attack, more ways to surround the army, and even catches this drop here.
Yeah, now we're going to be collapsing onto the third base. We got on top of one of those tanks as well. The others are a little bit too far back. They cannot protect this third base. The Ravagers do overextend. They should be going down, and a laser will back off.
Yeah, he has to back off, but not without a fight. Not without taking down a few more tanks, a few more units, like doing some damage on the base. And now it's time for the drops.
Yeah, we have a Baneling drop in towards the natural base. Looks like it has been spotted by Spirit, but he doesn't know what's inside it, and it looks like we will drop. Up! Can we make it? Ah! Not quite.
Almost. but we have another base.
We do, as Spirit again is going to be vying for control here at his third base. We do see a laser getting up to 95 workers, an insane drone count here, Hive in production as well, again, eventually for those Vipers. And we're pushing in for now a third attack.
Yeah, now coming from two directions, trying to collapse on this army, and the Banings will just be rolling in. The tanks are being dealt with by the Ravagers, and Spirit's army is starting to fall.
Yeah, every single tank falls down. It looks like a laser has far too much. He has broken through, getting into the mineral line. Looks like the Marines are going to be able to deal with the Roach Ravager, but 6 more SCVs go down, and the tank count was reset.
At the same time, Spirit tries to do some harassment of his own, dealing with some damage to the drones, but the drop is being stopped by Elazar's army. He does pull the attention of Elazar away, so he's actually able to go forward in the middle of the map.
Yeah, he is finally breaking out. He's finally breaking through. He's getting into the economy, killing some of these drones. Good damage is being done, but there's just still so much more to accomplish here. We have a lot of medevacs. We have to get the hell out of here. Constantly going for drop play. We're actually, we're killing workers.
Yeah, the drones are falling down, and there is a lot of them, but they are falling down.
Yeah, but we're still at a healthy worker count at 84. We're remaxing once again, this time with Vipers as well, and a laser. He's just amassing his army, getting ready to lay siege upon this third base for another time, a 4th time even. And even though Spirit is doing a good amount of damage here, it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's still not enough, and he has to constantly rebuild this army, and with only 3 bases, it's not that easy to do compared to all the economy that Elazar has accessible, and once again, they're gonna meet in the middle of the map.
Yeah, the Army of Spirit is pushing. At the same time, a laser going for a bailing drop into the natural base. Once again, hoping to get some damage done. Hoping to do better than previously here as the drop comes in.
Yeah, and this time there is no army to stop it, and the SCVs will be falling down. The entire mineral line goes down.
That's 16 SCVs down the drain. It was oversaturated. And now a laser, he's ready for the push. Doesn't want to push into this, doesn't want to fight on Spirit's terms, but laser, he's maxed out already. 3-3s on the way, Adrenal as well, and we're just waiting to push in. Now with Vipers, now we can push into this. Now we can go for those blinding clouds and try to break the tank line.
Yeah, basically, Elazar is setting up a trap, and Spirit is walking right into it. As now Elazar has a way to go in, and with these Vipers to support, he should be able to deal with most of this army.
Yeah, the blinding clouds, the yoinks are real, and it looks like we can crash on through. The Marines are going to be able to trade efficiently against the Roach Ravager. It looks like we should be able to clean up some of this army, but the tank count was cut in half, and a laser, he is remaxing here with 48 more lings on the way.
Yeah, but the remax is not here quite yet, so the Terran will be able to take down this base, but I mean, Elazar still has 2 more of those, so I don't think he's really too concerned about the bases.
Yeah, he evacuates the drones. He's going to be able to rotate towards the right-hand side of the map. Spirit, he's pushing and going to be threatening. This natural base Bailings are being targeted down here. There's a lot of Marines, but the Biles connect.
Yeah, the Zerglings actually trapped most of the army in place, and the Biles will be able to connect with the army. The Liberators are definitely helping here, but I mean, both armies are getting destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. But again, the Biles were just too good. The Bailing connections as well, and Spirit gets forced back. He was completely all in. He has half the worker count of his opponent. Nothing else remaining here. He almost broke through. He almost got into the natural, but just barely was not enough.
Yeah, just barely. And now, I mean, he has to master any defense that he can, but soon enough, Elazar will be on the other side of the map, and he will be doing damage.
Yeah, again, something that's been working here for Spirit is that thankfully a laser is still stuck on like a really Roach Ravager heavy composition. It's just, it doesn't really trade well. It gets outscaled as the game progresses. But finally, Ultras are on the way, and GG gets called. Spirit, he taps out. There isn't even a final fight, and a laser will take the 3-0.
GG! With that, a laser will be the champion of today's H.4.0.S Open Cup.
GG, well played. We have our new champion here. I mean, back-to-back champion, I should say. Last week, a laser did win. He did beat Papi in the finals, but Spirit wasn't there. So, I don't know, that win felt a little bit less meaningful because we didn't have the champion of Poland, of all these weekly tournaments. But here we saw them face off, and a laser comes out on top. A big win here for him, and he gets his revenge after having a really tough year against Spirit.
Yeah, I feel like overall, in terms of like best Polish players, like Spirit kinda has been like, rising to the top of the tier list from Poland essentially. But Elazar has been there for a while. And they're kinda like fighting for that position at that moment.
Yeah, I feel like for most of the year, I still stand by Spirit being number one.
Yeah.
Spirit, he has been looking damn good this year, and he took down Spirit in obviously the SE2 Circuit Regional. He also took him down at Gamers 8, if I recall correctly, and maybe even, I don't think they faced off in Yongshipping, but I do remember them facing off in Gamers 8. And yeah, he's just been looking so damn good, which is why this 3-0 is impressive.
Yeah.
A part of this is also for Spirit, like, if you remember Spirit, he was playing very, very aggressive this series and very all in. So because the Laser was able to survive the early game, more often than not, he would just find himself ahead and just run with that. But regardless, still a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like Elazar has showed us pretty good games today, and again, I was just impressed by how every game he would just expand to the entire base, like the entire map. Like he would just claim the entire map and try and get him.
Yeah, really well done here by a Laser. It wasn't the easiest of roads. I think what's impressive here today is that no one could stop him, no one could make him bleed, except for one person, except for Rodzin.
Yeah, Rodzin was the one who actually took a map of Elazar, and it was the one map that wasn't casted by anyone.
Yeah. No one knows what happened there except for Rodzin and a Laser, and they're gonna take that to their graves. So what happened?
Oh no,
between them?
I don't think Rodzin is. I think
That's
Rodzin
true,
is just gonna tweet about it and tell everybody.
I hope so. Hope he can share the replay to the world. So yeah, regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to a Laser as he does take the 3-0 in the end, does shut Spirit down. Again, we saw a lot of variety out of Spirit. It led to some very entertaining games here in the end. To wind it back again, went for a Ghost Rush, which you rarely see at this level of play. You rarely see Ghost Rushes. I think the only other player that would try to even do this at this level is like Gumiho, for example. He'd 100% do it.
Okay. Yeah,
but
sure.
even outside of that, we saw a proxy 3-racks, and that's also very uncommon. It's considered to be very risky, a really all-in build to go for, and I mean, yeah, it's just not really seen too often.
It was also specifically a 3-racks with a hidden racks. Very specific.
Definitely. Regardless, Laser did shut him down at every turn, and congratulations, a well-won tournament here for a Laser. And if you want some more Polish action, we got you covered in 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, unless there's, I don't know, a major event that's going to be coming up.
We have to confirm that with Kashim if the house open cups will continue throughout December. Because originally they were leading up to the LAN event, but since the LAN event is moved, does that mean we can get more house open cups?
Really, all that means is if you're in the chat, follow us. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on Discord as well. We'll post if we do go live with another one of these tournaments. Hopefully we get more, but again, it's not on us. It is on Kashim to confirm whether there will be more weekly tournaments. As a reminder, this is all leading into an offline LAN finals in Poland, in the capital of Poland as well. So yeah, we're going to be seeing all these players and more face off live eventually in January.
Eventually. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Exactly. Regardless, GG, well played, really good matches were had, and yeah, hope everyone enjoyed themselves. We just wrapped up here for the day. We have another broadcast coming up tomorrow, or later today for me, tomorrow for I'm sure many people in the chat. Our next broadcast is going to be a show match in less than 12 hours time. It is I believe in 10 hours or 9.5 hours. It is going to be Honmono versus Miyamaika in a best of 19.
See, it's very early for me, but I'm also really curious about the maps, because you take two of the absolutely craziest players in StarCraft, which is both Miyamaika and Honmono, and then you put them on maps that are not necessarily on the ladder.
Yeah, They're not safe for the ladder. They're not safe
No,
for ladder. And,
they're not safe.
So yeah, for those that are curious, again, in around 10 or so hours, we're gonna be live with Honmono versus Miyamika here on the CranKy Ducklings, a very special show match, best of 19. I don't know if my body is ready for that, but
Mhm.
it's gonna be fun nonetheless. It's gonna be a joy, and be a part of that. Be a part of that experience that we're all gonna have together.
Yes, that's the one way to call it, the experience.
Yeah.
Because it definitely will be one.
Aye. Outside of that, I'm sure a lot of people, especially like I mentioned before, you have been a little bit less active when it comes to casting here on the channel. A big part of that is because we haven't covered as many OSC King of the Hills, and that used to be the other event that you would jump on every now and then to help cast. So let the people know who the hell is 16th Squad Senseki.
Yes, so quickly update. Nothing is happening. Don't worry about it. But yes, I am 16 Squad Sanseki, and I am the behind the scenes person of CranKy Ducklings. I don't usually cast, and I don't think I'm not a caster. Okay, don't call me a caster. But I do sometimes occasionally cast on this channel, but usually I'm just behind the scenes. I'm making the overlays, I'm making the social media. Basically all that involves like behind the scenes work of CranKy Ducklings. So usually you can find me on the CranKy Ducklings Discord or in the chat, as I am watching most of those streams. Other than that, I'm involved in like different StarCraft projects. Sometimes I'm even an offline admin, as some of you may recognize me or not. But when I'm not doing StarCraft things, I'm sometimes streaming on my channel at Twitch TV/16 Squad Sanseki. And I'm usually not streaming StarCraft, although maybe I should.
There you go, exclamation mark Kuro in the chat, and you get links to Twitter, Wikipedia, Twitch as well.
Also,
as was mentioned.
Also, I am a ranged, okay? I prefer bows and stuff. I'm not a mage.
There
Thank
you go. Right. The puns are real. The puns are real. So yeah, Kuroshi, of course, or I mean, we all have a lot of projects that we do work on, like SA2 Esports, SA2 birthdays as well. As was mentioned before, Kuro is also an offline admin and will most likely be working on other events in the future as well, not just here on the CranKy Ducklings. Yeah, Kuro, she's the co-founder, alongside myself, co-founder of the CranKy Ducklings. We did kind of start this many years ago and continue to, pour our passion into the CranKy Ducklings many years in the future and many years to come, I'm sure. So, try to give Kuro some love and support and a follow on Twitter. And, with that, we're going to be wrapping up here today. We're going to be wrapping up for the morning.
But Light, what about you? Where can we find you?
Exclamation mark Light in the chat. You can follow me at Twitch and Twitter and Facebook. I might stream later today. I'm going to be going to bed soon. But if I wake up before the show match, then I may be streaming over on my channel. Otherwise, here are the CranKy Ducklings. Cast on the day, every day. Every day we're casting here on the CranKy Ducklings. And like today, sometimes multiple times a day. Earlier we casted the Kung Fu Cup. Now the House Open. And tomorrow with the show matches. StarCraft.
Yes, like just eat StarCraft and breathe StarCraft.
Yes, exactly. We're the most active channel when it comes to casting StarCraft.
I mean, that is true.
We take pride in that. So we're just going to be calming things down here. Only one cast tomorrow before the weekend of WTL, and the weekend is always busy for us. And with that, we're done here for the time being. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you guys in 10 or so hours for the show match. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you then.
Dobranoc.
Bye.
Bye.